Okay, we should be live now. Should be live now. Okay, we should be live now.
We're live.
Yeah, we're live. Oh, there we go. Okay. It's already gone through on Discord, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
No worries. No worries. Cool. Oh, mega yoink. Rancher as well. Oh, you're there. How can you be in two places at once?
Magic.
Just magic. Cool. Okay, well, I think we're all pretty much set and ready to go. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about recent Star Wars rumors, a few actual official pieces of news that's taken place over the last week or two. Quite a few things have happened. I'd say, a couple of days ago, there was a lot of most likely false rumors that were just very clickbaity by the media source. But yeah, I guess we can. Do you want to start off with the official news then, and then we can kind of go into?
Yeah. So episode 9, apparently it has finished wrapping filming.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, we had an image from
J.J. Abrams, out on Twitter and
it.
social media.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see from the picture, it's just simply John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, and Daisy Ridley just having a massive big old hug.
Yeah, and actually, I think a few things to point out here as well. It's like I saw a few people say that this is actually like an on-set thing, like part of the film, but it's not. Like you can see crew behind it and all that stuff. It would have been post-filming. But I think, what we saw actually recently with the whole leaks regarding Rey's outfit as well, you can see that it's kind of a whitish, like a almost white creamy color there as well.
Yeah, it's more like what Padme wore in Attack of the Clones.
No, absolutely right. Yeah, so she's sporting her hair as well as normal. John Boyega's even grown some hair as well.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac, his outfit's very different actually. He looks like he's on some sort of like adventure, like.
Well,
I think it looks almost a bit archaeological in a way.
I think the first thing to note about this is that it's definitely going to be set in a few years' time from Last Jedi.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like Finn's not going to grow that much hair that quickly.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's the first thing to know. Second thing to know is it's in a desert. So is that Jakku or could it maybe be Tatooine?
Tatooine, yeah. There's been a bunch of people have said both things. Honestly, like I've seen people say, "Oh, this is going to be Tatooine," or "Oh, this is going to be Jakku." So it has potential to be either or. Really, I think it would be interesting to see Tatooine again.
I'd love to see Tatooine, but yeah.
I think it would be great if the film ended on Tatooine, just because in a way
where it started.
Yeah, exactly. You're finishing where you started in a way. I just think that would be a really nice touch.
It'd be the perfect ending, definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
really
whether it's just like whether they could do it as Rey is just at like if they go back to Lars Homestead or something like that, I think that would be awesome. Like my ideal ending would be like Rey, Finn, or Poe, like just all three of them, perhaps, or just Rey just stood looking at the twin suns as they set. I think that would be really, really cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to just have Rey just by herself.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like mirrors Luke in A New Hope.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I looking at what Zorkin said in the chat, like it definitely episode 9 needs to have new planets. I think it's always great to get new planets, but
but it's great to have a blend as well. So new and old planets.
Yeah, like we've not seen Tatooine in the sequel trilogy yet, so I think it would be cool if there was that. Like, but the thing is that if they made another desert planet, then they would have that like very quickly in the first few films, or even all of them, they've got 3 mainstream desert planets with Tatooine, Jakku, and this new one, if this was to be the case, which I can understand. There will be more than just those 2 out there in the galaxy, but it'd just be a bit, a little bit boring, sort of, if you know what I mean. Like, because we've just seen Jakku in episode 7 quite a lot. We've seen Tatooine a lot already, so it's just like, if they go and introduce this other one, then it's just a bit like, you didn't really need to do this, let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they don't introduce another desert planet. But in all honesty, I think they're wise enough to not do that. I think if they are going to introduce new planets, then it won't be desert. I think it'll be a completely different planet, different environment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because that's the thing with Star Wars is like they've always gone for. Sometimes it'll be similar climates to our own, or it's just completely something new and different. Like you look at Camino, and that's just fully water planet with, buildings and all that stuff coming out of the water and all that stuff. It's great. And then Takodana is very much like a jungle woodland sort of place.
Yeah.
Tatooine's just full desert. I mean, the thing is with like you look at Earth, for example, and you've got all these different climates, but then in Star Wars, each planet basically just has its own climate pretty much the whole way through. It's very consistent with that.
Yeah, it's like a different
so it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely got potential, absolutely.
But I think in terms of this last movie, JJ's already said that it's going to tie prequels, sequels, and the original trilogies together. So I think, it's great to have new planets, of course, but old planets such as Tatooine, great to have them back as well.
I think if they're going to be blending the 3 trilogies together, then I think Tatooine would be the perfect planet to have. Because you just see it. You see it appear in the prequels and the original trilogy so much anyway. Obviously, it's got a big part in episode 4 and 6, as well as then obviously meeting Anakin in episode 1, Anakin going back in episode 2, and then just at the end of episode 3 when you see Luke being taken in by Beru and Owen as well. So I think that would be nice to actually like properly tie it all in together.
But then that begs the question: if we do get Tatooine in this movie, do you think we could get any other old planets? Or
I think if they were to do that, I think maybe Coruscant would be pretty cool to see. Just at some point, it would be cool to maybe see Coruscant even. Maybe go to a derelict Jedi temple, perhaps, if nothing's there. If Rey's going to go and try and restart the Jedi Order like Luke meant to, then Rey could perhaps go into the old Jedi temple and then just start rebuilding the Jedi Order from there, sort of thing.
Well, it makes sense as well because we saw it in Revenge of the Sith, and then we saw it at the end of Return of the Jedi. So if you saw it in this movie as well,
it would be pretty cool. Yeah,
exactly.
Cool. But obviously, I mean, like Coruscant being in episode 6 was just one of those very, very, very late decisions that was only added in like ages ago.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be cool to see that because we do see obviously the Empire's tyranny being taken down in episode 6 on Coruscant, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I think it would be great to maybe go back to Coruscant and Tatooine in episode 9. Whether they're going to then just go and do any more planets, I don't really feel like they need to. I mean, I guess they don't need to do Tatooine. There's no necessity for them, but it just would be interesting to see some of these old planets return. Actually,
do you think maybe Naboo?
Naboo would be interesting, but where would you see Naboo fitting in, perhaps?
Oh, I mean that's tough because the thing is with these planets, we don't know what state they're in as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I can imagine that some of these planets will be fairly similar to how they are anyway. I mean, if you look at again, like Naboo was added in very late into the process for episode 6, very much like Coruscant and Tatooine, other planets, like right at the end. So Naboo looked fairly okay, to be fair. Sorry about the buzzing, guys. I will go. But who knows? It's going to be great. It would be great to see Naboo and other planets like that as well. But I don't think they need to oversaturate the film with old planets.
Well, that's another thing as well, because if you put too many of the old planets in, then you're just going to get people moaning about it. So it can be a good thing, but it's going to be a bad thing as well if they do that. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like if you just keep adding in some of the old planets, you're just going to completely oversaturate the film and not allow any space for new planets. And I think that's the thing with Star Wars. Every film you tend to see new alien species, new kind of characters in terms of the troopers, new main characters, new planets, all these things that just add in all to one new film. Like that's the thing that's sometimes great about Star Wars is that they just keep adding in all these new different things.
Yeah, like episode 7, episode 8, Resistance even, they had like new aliens and stuff, but I think the department that we've been let down in is planets. We've not really seen any old planets as of right now.
Yeah, I mean, like old planets. No, we haven't seen them at all. You know, it would be. Have we? I don't even know if we've had that much mention of them, to be honest. Because I thought at least
No, we've
at
not.
some
No.
point, I think Coruscant would have been interesting for the New Republic to have their base, but they just based it on this completely. I mean, the whole like Hosnian system, Hosnian Prime stuff. That was very Coruscant.
I was actually going to mention that because there was speculation at the time of Episode 7 that was Coruscant, but then obviously that was debunked. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting to have. I think it's interesting to have that, and obviously Coruscant would have been the whole base of the Empire's reign and all that stuff. So
yeah,
it's interesting to get the New Republic to take away from that. But I just can't help but feel like Coruscant would be in some bad state. Obviously, with the Empire completely shutting down after Episode 6 and all that stuff, essentially on Coruscant, their base of operations would have gone. So, you know, what would have happened to all their, you know, bases, you know, ISB, all these other things that they have on Coruscant? What would have happened to them? Would they have just completely been abandoned buildings? Would people have tried taking them down, looting them, what have you? You know, like there's so much potential that actually Coruscant has stories based on that. So, you know, I think it's a good idea that the New Republic completely went away from Coruscant because it's just like obviously so associated with the Republic forming the Empire and all that stuff. So, I think it would be cool to see Coruscant as well, but I just think the state of the planet as well after Episode 6 would definitely be a factor to play.
I think if the New Republic left Coruscant, and I think the civilians, the population, I think they would have definitely sort of, you know, pressed the self-destruct button because obviously they didn't have the Empire around anymore. So I think, like you said, looting places, and yeah, I think that would have definitely been the case.
Yeah, I just can't see there being like on Coruscant. I genuinely can't see there being any authority for the following couple months after Episode 6, honestly, because like they've just had this god awful reign of the Empire, just taking over for the last God knows 20 years or so, you know, and it's like after that, you know, there's probably going to be some sort of Coruscant police at some point. You know, we obviously had the robots in Bone Wars and stuff like that, but there's, you know, I think after the Empire have just gone, you know, the Coruscant police force as well would have probably been highly associated with. I feel like the Coruscant police would be highly associated with the Empire anyway, so it's kind of their reign but their authority might have just been completely lost as well, and then just all hell might have been let loose or something. You know, it's interesting to think about.
Yeah, they would have probably just been. Yeah, the Empire would have just probably either got rid of the police force, the robots that you were talking about, or they probably still had them, but they was under the Empire's control, so they didn't really have any authority.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's probably the way I see it, honestly.
But I think Episode 9, obviously I'm excited for it, but in terms of the planets, I'm really hoping that we do see Tatooine. Even if we just get Tatooine but no other old planets, I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah, I think I feel like if they're going to be tying everything in, Tatooine would be the main place to go to. Other than that,
definitely.
They don't really need to go anywhere else, so they could just leave it just randomly.
Yeah, but at the same time, it would be nice to see Coruscant if I had to pick another planet. But yeah, Tatooine alone, I'd be absolutely fine with that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, totally agree with you.
But yeah, this picture, I think it's definitely Offset, without a doubt.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. Yeah, you can just see crew behind them working and stuff. You know, so it's definitely Offset. Probably after the last moment of filming.
But have you noticed Oscar Isaac's face?
He looks very upset, doesn't he? He looks very emotional.
But do you think that's just because the trilogy's ended, or just because of what's happened with Episode 9?
I think it's probably just the trilogy's ended. Though I think actually this photo was taken a bit before, because I think wasn't John Boyega and Oscar Isaac finished filming a few days or a week or so before Daisy really finished anyway. So I think this was taken beforehand, but just released anyway. But I think it's because this could have been the last point for one of these guys, and it's just an emotional ending for everyone. You know, the last time they were all together on set. So I mean, it could very well be what happened in episode 9, but I think actually this is simply just the emotions here is simply just down to the fact that they've just got to finish filming for the last time all together, sort of thing, you know. So
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely because it's the end of the trilogy, and
Yeah.
like you said, the end of the journey,
Mhm.
definitely. But
It's interesting though, because like the thing on the, if you look at the right hand side, there's just like this tower looking pillar thing, and you can see like a blue curve on top of it. It's like, is that some sort of relic or like monument sort of thing? I don't know. It's interesting.
I think I don't know. That's a good point. Actually, I never actually noticed that.
Yeah, I mean, actually, another point is like it's not, it's there's a T rocky. It's more like a rocky place, but Jeddah's quite desert rocky as well, sort of thing. So
See,
again,
there have been rumors about Jeddah being in episode 9, but I wouldn't be up for it really.
No, like there's a thing with Jeddah, but Jeddah got completely like obliterated when the Death Star just fired down a single reactor blast onto it. So it's like it would be cool to see Jeddah, but the planet's just had a massive chunk taken out of it, many years before. So I can't see it being Jeddah at all. But it would be interesting, obviously, with the Jedi connections and all that stuff that it has.
Yeah, that would be
totally
interesting. Yeah,
can't see it happening.
But this image, do you think this is going to be the last thing we see of episode 9 until we get a trailer at Celebration? Obviously, aside from the title reveal, of course.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to get like another like kind of almost behind the scenes shot sort of thing. It would be great to see that, but I think right now, obviously, as we're coming to the end of February, we've got just less than a week to go now, I think. So, with Celebration, just under 2 months away, it wouldn't surprise me if this is the last shot we see until that point. I think definitely we'll get title reveal at some point, but then either we could get a title reveal in the next week or the next few weeks, and then a teaser trailer in episode Celebration, or they could literally just wait for everything at Celebration as it's the last one of the film. They want to make a big sort of celebration for it. So,
well, that's actually another thing. Episode 9. I keep losing my train of thought because I'm reading the chat here.
Yeah.
But there was something that was it Zorkin said? Oh no, it was Inya. He said, "Is there going to be a big space battle?"
I hope so. We've had nothing. We've basically had nothing so far.
Yeah,
the thing with the sequel trilogy is like the biggest ground battle we've had.
probably
Well,
Takodana.
Yeah, it's probably Takodana. I mean, the thing is though, like let's start from episode 7. Jakku village, wasn't very much resistance First Order. It was just First Order villages fighting each other, which, to be fair, was a pretty cool scene. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a good opening scene, yeah.
Then we had Takodana, which was X-Wings versus TIE fighters and ground troops.
When the X-Wings came in, I got
again, that was good. It was very good. But then beyond that, nothing really in episode 7, to be honest. Like, we had a little bit of space combat with the X-Wings and the TIE fighters.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
you don't get to see too much, but again, it was pretty good. But then episode 8. So episode 7 was great. Honestly, I think it was brilliant start to the trilogy. Episode 8, you didn't really have. You kind of had a bit of space combat, but nothing too major at the start of the film. And
I liked the part with pulling the X-wing, but the whole thing with the bombers, I wasn't really keen on that. It just wasn't exciting for me.
Yeah, I think the whole thing with the bombers, it felt a little bit. I guess, like, thinking about it now, it did feel a little bit kind of rushed in a way. Like, we could have seen a bit more with it, but we just saw a few ships being taken down, and then it was just like, oh, bombers down, bombers down, bombers down, and then suddenly this TIE fighter shoots down one bomber and then gets hit by an X-wing and manages to crash a hole into another bomber, which then leads into another bomber. So instantly, in like 5 seconds, you've lost half the fleet pretty much. So that it was okay. Like, the part with Poe was pretty cool, but the rest of it was just a bit meh. And then after that, didn't really have any other space battles. You can't count the whole Kylo Ren TIE Fighter stuff as a space battle at all, because that was just him chasing into the ship and blowing up the hangar. But you know, we didn't really have any ground battles. Crate. You know, there were people on the ground.
I don't count Crate.
I don't really count Crate, because there was no direct trooper on trooper action at all.
No,
it was just walkers shooting at the ski speeders in the end. So there wasn't really a huge amount of action in episode 8 at all. I think episode 9 needs to have like a big space battle and a big ground battle, like full on trooper combat, because we see quite a bit of trooper combat in the original trilogy. I mean, not a huge amount. I mean, the most that I can think of really is just going to be Endor. But, you know, Endor's pretty good, you know, with the help of the Ewoks and all that stuff. You know, that was cool. But, you know, we need to have like a proper ground battle. Resistance forces alongside the First Order shooting each other, all this stuff, you know. So I think that would be pretty damn cool.
Well, obviously, episode 9, we're going to get these, you know, Outer Rim forces, whoever they are. I assume, obviously, Lando's going to be part of them. But in terms of who else we're going to see, I don't know. But if we don't get a massive space battle from these new, you know, whoever they are from the Outer Rim, then I think it's a missed opportunity, without a doubt.
Yeah, no, definitely. Absolutely. Boom. Oh,
but I don't know. Yeah, like you said about the Force Awakens, the Starkiller base battle with the X-Wings and everything, I really like that. Obviously, it wasn't in space, though.
Yeah.
This battle at the start of The Last Jedi, like I say, I liked the pulling the X-Wing action scene.
Yeah.
But the bombers were just, as Hawkins said, it was lame. I agree, it was a little bit lame. The stuff with Kylo, obviously, again, it wasn't really a space battle, but I still liked it, but it wasn't a space battle. What we need for a space battle is capital ships just blasting crap out of each other.
Yeah, no, I think that would be awesome.
Something like the Battle of Coruscant, but maybe not too big. I don't know.
I think what we call is like have some First Order, like just have some First Order Resurgent Star Destroyers and Resistance capital ships as well, just all shooting at each other. And then maybe there's like a Resistance strike force that goes into one of the Star Destroyers. There's quite a bit of combat in there.
Yeah,
a few Resistance troopers die. Resistance managed to get like hold of a Star Destroyer or something, and then like turn on the First Order. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, from this image, I was already obviously hyped for episode 9, but this image is, I mean, it's got me intrigued more than anything, because I really want to know what's going on right now. But
yeah, same. Because that's like the thing is though, we never really see Rey, Finn, and Poe together. That's the thing.
Do you think we'll see them together this movie?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, like it'll be interesting to see a bit more of a dynamic between the trio, because a lot of the time in the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, we do see a lot of Obi-Wan, Anakin, Padme together, Luke, Han, and Leia together. Like, I mean, Anakin is mainly with Padme, to be fair. Obi-Wan less so, but it would be. But if you look at the original trilogy, mainly is that the trio are pretty much together like all the time. I mean, yeah, less so with the prequels. You know, it's just like Anakin with Padme or Anakin with Obi-Wan sort of thing most of the time. That kind of, that does show off in the Clone Wars TV show as well. But it'd be interesting to get them all together.
We should also quickly say as well, happy birthday to Anthony Daniels, as it was his birthday yesterday.
Oh.
And he has officially overtaken Mark Hamill as the chief Star Wars troll on Twitter.
Yeah.
Do you think what Anthony Daniels has been tweeting out, do you think it actually has anything to do with episode 9?
I think it does, but at the same time, it could completely be unrelated at all, just trying to hype people up and get people excited and all that stuff,
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it actually has anything to do with episode 9, but obviously, because episode 9 is like the one big thing that he's involved with, that's why people are automatically assuming that obviously it's to do with episode 9.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I think it'd be funny if it turned out to be something completely different to episode 9.
Yeah, it could be completely unrelated in all fairness, but everyone's
Yeah, and
just
he was just using that
assuming
as
it's
his
going to be.
advantage to, get people
Yeah,
excited. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it would be nice to get some sort of episode 9 information shortly, but who knows what's happening? Who knows?
Any more thoughts from this picture?
I'm just gonna have a quick look at it now. I think it's interesting to see Ray's staff behind Poe's back there. It's nice to see that again. Um, but I think does that then beg the question that maybe Ray won't have like this is very much like one of those tight conspiracy like rumor sort of thing. Is like because we see Ray's staff in the back behind Poe's back there, do we not see Ray with a lightsaber in episode 9 sort of thing? Like we probably will. But at the same time, it could be possible.
It might just be one of them things where she's carrying it on the back, but she uses a lightsaber sort of thing.
Yeah, possibly. I think it'd be it would be great to see Ray with a lightsaber, obviously, but it's does she in the possibly couple years or during the film does she manage to go and build her own lightsaber sort of thing? Because I don't really feel like Ray would be able to necessarily do that beforehand.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, in a couple of years' time, with probably the guidance of Luke and Yoda as Force ghosts, I think technically she would probably then be able to just go and build her own lightsaber, and that would be interesting. But I guess we'll see. We'll see, because I think it's something that her staff obviously is something that she's had for a long time, and she's obviously not going to go and just let go of it, sort of thing. So,
What do you think the new lightsaber is going to be?
I don't know. I would like to see something dual blade. I think dual blade would work really well for Ray. Obviously, with her staff, it's quite her staff. Like her staff, it's probably not as big for sure, but it's kind of at that size, which makes you think she could probably wield double blade. So it would definitely be interesting. Obviously, a lot of people have thought that it could be yellow or something like that, which would be interesting. But I think
I wouldn't want yellow. I'd want blue. Honestly.
yeah, I think Ray just going blue would probably be the way to go. I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, yellow. It's just I don't know. I'd much prefer blue.
Yeah,
It's probably just a personal preference of mine. Obviously, I'd like the color yellow as a lightsaber color, but I think for Ray's character, I think I just prefer her to carry on with blue.
yeah, no, definitely.
And I think it also suits her a lot better than yellow personally as well. Anyway, so
Yeah, I mean, I can't like with that kind of creamish white outfit. I can't see. I mean, I guess I could see a yellow saber there, but I just think it would be probably better with blue. It would just work a lot. It would just work better, I think.
So overall, the question is: has this image alone got you more hyped for episode 9?
I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it's going to be, it's great to finally see some more, not information as such, but well, it's kind of got information shooting out of it and stuff like that. But it's always good to see more shots from Star Wars because I think last year with Solo when Ron Howard was just showing a few images on Twitter here and there, that got me excited for the film. I think it would be great to see a couple more shots from episode 9 as well, just to keep hyping it up, really, because I think showing the odd image here and there can go a long way. I mean, you look at the kind of unrelated, but you look at the Anakin teaser for Battlefront 2 that was released yesterday. Just that 15 seconds alone can really make a difference. Like I had someone in my chat yesterday on the stream saying that my friend's is now buying the game just because of this trailer. So I think definitely seeing these images will definitely build up hype. It has changed I am more excited for it, but at the end of the day, it is just I think it's just there to show that the filming has finished. But even just
that was what I was going to say. The
yeah,
image itself, I'm not excited by it. What I'm excited about is we finally get confirmation that they finished filming. That's what I'm excited about.
I think the thing is though, it doesn't the image alone doesn't excite me, but it's the information that is there to tell that excites me. Is because it's now finished filming. So I just think that's exciting, to be fair.
Yeah, without a doubt. And episode 9 overall, I just think it's going to be. I think it's going to redeem episode 8.
I hope so. Yeah, because well, I mean, I obviously enjoyed I obviously enjoyed episode 8, but at the same time, it absolutely has its flaws. It would be nice to see the sequel trilogy end off in a really nice way with episode 9. I guess we'll see. I think episode 9 for some people will bring people back to not necessarily not enjoy episode 8, but just kind of, I guess, in a way, forgive it or whatever. I don't really know how to word it properly, but I think it'll just help out with the way episode 8 kind of gave people Star Wars. At the same time, though, there's for others it obviously won't. It could take a lot more or nothing at all. There are some people who just completely. I mean, there are some people who completely have gone off Star Wars because of episode 8. Some people have just kind of don't like the sequel trilogy and all these other things. So it's there are a lot of different types of people out there right now anyway. So
I think the last thing that we need to talk about with episode 9 is the title. Obviously, for a long time now, it's been sort of rumors more than anything about, it's coming such a day, it's coming Valentine's Day, it's coming Super Bowl, and it's still not here.
Yeah.
But now that we've got confirmation it has finished filming, do you think we are going to get it soon, realistically?
Realistically, I think we could. There's always there's always potential that we could get it soon, but I just think if they waited until Celebration just to reveal all of it, then I just wouldn't mind. I think that'd be a fairly nice way just to go and bang it all at one time. But just the amount of people begging for the title to be revealed, for a teaser trailer, all these things, it's just
just be patient.
You see it all the time. Just be patient. I've seen it so many times, and it's I can understand that you feel the need to want the trailer right now. I absolutely want the trailer. I want the teaser title sort of thing as well. But people are going "Oh, the Last Jedi title was revealed on this day, 2 years ago," and it's okay, but that's not going to mean episode 9 is going to be revealed on that day, is it? You're anytime close. I understand that perhaps it could do. What was that? I think perhaps it could do, but at the end of the day, it's not going to 100% be that way.
I think I can't remember if we talked about this in the last podcast, but I think what would be great is if we save the title until Celebration, and then
I think
they reveal the title along with a teaser trailer.
Yeah, because I think
we spoke what they did with Avengers Endgame, and then right at the end, you had the title.
Yeah, I think doing that would be a really
I think they should do that Celebration. Have the teaser.
Yeah.
Obviously, have the panel first where they talk about what it was like filming it, all that stuff. And then right at the end, we've got a teaser for you. Play the teaser right at the end.
Yeah.
Star Wars, I don't know, Balance of the Force, something like that. The title. I think fantastic.
Yeah, it'd be really good. Obviously, for those who are actually at Celebration or watching it live, they'd obviously get that. But then, obviously, for people who are just busy watching on YouTube, it'll be because usually as soon as. Oh yeah, no, I absolutely will. I'm hoping. I won't be on holidays at all like that, but it's gonna be. Oh, that's the thing. When on the Friday, I'm gonna be working on that Friday. Oh, rip me. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting actually. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be good, and I think revealing the title at the end of the teaser trailer would be a really good way to go about it.
So we mentioned it before briefly. Battlefront 2. Obviously, recently there has been more sort of controversy because DICE and all that, they've not really been, communicating with us. But yesterday we did get sort of, I don't know what you could call it, a teaser trailer maybe.
I'd say it's a teaser trailer.
It was only 15 seconds, but we got it anyway. Yeah. What were your thoughts on it?
I really liked it, honestly. Yeah, it was completely unexpected out of the blue. Before I started streaming, I saw Jay, who's one of the community coordinators. So you don't know. I saw a tweet from Jay. It was just tagging Ben Walk, and it was just Anakin saying my powers have doubled since the last time we met. Ben Walks like later replied saying twice pride double fault in the as the GIF. So there was interest about that, and I think Ben replied as I was streaming, so I thought, okay, well maybe we could see Anakin CT come soon, and it got to about 8:15 I think, and then all of a sudden, boom, Anakin. I saw on my phone it was just like something to do with Anakin, so I thought, okay, Anakin CT, let's go. And then I looked at it, it was a 15-second teaser trailer. I was like, oh my god. I thought it was great, but for those of you who haven't seen it, it's basically our first look of Anakin. It's only 15 seconds long, but we see him walking into a cave with 5 first Phase 1 clones behind him. Dooku's in that cave with battle droids, ignites a saber, does his lightning stun, Anakin blocks sort of thing. Like, it was great. I think it's definitely going to help Battlefront 2 out if they keep doing things like this.
Well, that's the thing with Dooku. When he released, they didn't really have anything like this, did they?
They screwed up big time with Dooku.
Oh,
they did screw
doubt.
up. Like, it's like they didn't have any. Like, for his release, they didn't have any screenshots ready. They
it's
the
simple
community update. Yeah, I mean the community update video sort of thing released fairly on time. Like, I think it was like 12 hours late or something like that. But the fact that they had no behind the scenes, like, well, not behind the scenes, but they had no screenshots for him at all. Like, I can understand that there was a bit of a backlog when, due to the holidays and all that other stuff, but I don't really think there's an excuse for that, to be honest. Like, it should have been, ready and waiting for that point. Coruscant Guard got delayed. It was just, January was like, it was a decent update, but it was just a bit of a shambles, really. But now, I mean, we're only, like 5 days away from the update now anyway, so like we've gone through it, we made it. And already, like, some point last week or earlier this week, we obviously got to see an attack. I think it was like last week, we got to see an attack sequence for Anakin as well, which is pretty cool. And then, obviously yesterday, we've now got the Anakin teaser trailer. So they've definitely stepped up their game this month. They've kind of put the whole January behind them and now just hopefully trying to work fully onto this. But after this month, apart from the new large scale mode, basically all of the content that was announced, what was it, last June, July, has been released now. So
I think we should all mention, because that's a good point, actually. I don't think that came out until after the last podcast. So the new large scale game mode has been delayed. I don't think they've said when it is coming out now. I think, did you say March? Yeah, March.
The new large scale game mode is coming out in March, along with 2 new reinforcements. So that's kind of open to interpretation. Honestly, like, some people think it's 2 new classes, but it's just going to be heavily Clone Wars. So it could be 1 new reinforcement class, but only Clone Wars and only Clone Wars characters for them. So there's a lot of speculation that it could be commando droids and clone commandos and stuff like that, which would be awesome. Some people are saying commando droid and ARC troopers. I think commando droids definitely. But then clone commandos would be pretty cool as well.
Probably commandos and droid commandos, yeah. But what do you think about the large scale game mode being cancelled? Because personally, as soon as I heard it, I was just delayed. Sorry, yeah. But when I heard it, I was disappointed straight away. And then when they revealed that it was because of the reinforcements, I was just like, well, they should have been at launch anyway. And now you're pushing back a whole game mode just because you're releasing 2 new reinforcements. I think it's ridiculous.
I don't think they would have pushed it back if it wasn't for the whole January backlog. Like, when they came back from holiday, like, Jay actually went and said that things have been a bit slow. They had a slow start to January, so I think that was mainly the reason behind it, because of that slow start, people working on the large scale game mode were delayed, so it was just a bit slow for them, which is a shame, really. Shouldn't have happened. And then obviously, now that they're pushing it back for 2 reinforcements, I don't mind as much, but it's just frustrating because the large scale game mode is what I'm looking out for the most out of everything. So yeah, I'm disappointed for sure. I'm really looking forward to this large scale game mode. It should have been here in 5, 6. It should have been here in about 5 days' time, and it's now going to be another 4 weeks. So yeah, it really sucks.
Oh yeah, I'm mainly disappointed not because I can't play it in 5 days or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm disappointed because I just want to see what it is.
Yeah,
You
same.
know,
I just
and
want
I
information
want
about it.
yeah, I want videos from whoever, whether the game changes. I don't care. I just want to see what it is. You know, how it plays out, what it actually is.
Yeah.
Is it actually going into space, flying to capital ships? I don't think it is, but hey, you never
Mm-hmm.
know. So, um,
Yeah, like, there's just a lot of. It's just all a bit sheltered right now. Like there's no
it's just
real
clouded. We don't know
information about
anything
it. Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Like the thing is, though, all we know so far is that you take capture points and you destroy capital ships and all that stuff. There's also like capital ship interior maps, so I don't know whether Blast is going to get a bunch of like a couple new maps, perhaps, because I think if they're going to be making a map inside a capital ship, they could very easily do Blast or Strike content for that, which would be great. But yeah, I mean, we need to see more information about it because like the first community transmission that came out earlier this month, they were like, "Oh, there's going to be details about the large scale game mode about it." All they said was, "Oh yeah, it's been delayed till March." So it was like, okay, brilliant, thanks. And it's just like, well, I mean, at least like the thing is though, after like halfway through next week, we will then, we'll then be in the month, we'll be in the time frame of actually the large scale game mode is coming out. But it's just it is frustrating. I just want to know more information about it like as soon as possible, to be honest, because as I said, it is what I'm looking forward to the most. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But
Again, like I said with the episode 9 image, has this teaser got you more hyped for Anakin, or are you still the same?
honestly, I still feel like I'm the same, to be honest. Like it was a great teaser and I really liked it, and I am obviously hyped for the update, but at the moment it just kind of feels like a similar level of hype, honestly.
Yeah,
It
for
was really
me,
good, but
yeah, look, I agree. It was a cool teaser, but yeah, I'm still the same. Like, obviously, it'll be good to see Anakin, but again, we should have had him in at launch, no
yeah,
question.
like we
He's the main
yeah,
character the whole time, and he wasn't in
that
at launch.
yeah. I mean that's the thing, like there's content coming now that should have been in the game before. Um, but I honestly think kind of like the main reason for it is because they had a deadline of like 2 years after the release of Battlefront 1. So it kind of had to not necessarily be rushed, but they just couldn't put that much content into it.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, I
I
agree.
just feel
Yeah,
like they could have waited and like we would be here by now. They could have just waited another year to release the game and have more content into it. Like that would have been absolutely brilliant. And we would now be in that stage of actually we would have had the game for a few months now. There'd probably be a bunch of content into it, all well and good and stuff like that, going through its ways. But who knows? Who knows? I think it's mainly because Battlefield as well. I think the fact that Battlefield they didn't have a Battlefield title release when Battlefront 2 did. Waited a year later, Battlefield 5 released as well. So I think the fact that they wouldn't have any title released that year, the studios were kind of like, okay, well, we kind of need to release Battlefield 2 this year, so we can then go and release Battlefield 5 the next year. And it's just, it caused a bit of a. I think that could possibly be the reason for it, but I think they should have just waited an extra year to then just go and put more content into launch.
in your gaming, Timmy says, "How many new maps with game mode do you reckon we are going to get?" I'm
4.
thinking 1 or 2 tops, then other existing maps modified.
4. 4. I
You
think
think
it's going to
4?
be just Clone Wars. Yeah, I think it's just going to be Clone Wars to start with. But my thought is that they just kind of want to get this game mode out. Right now is just very much focused on the Clone Wars, so they're probably just going to go and put most, if not all, of the Clone Wars maps into it now. It could just be like 2. Like it could just be 2, but that would just be really, really bad. Honestly, that would just be awful on their part. But Geonosis was actually modeled mainly for this large scale mode,
Yeah, yeah.
with Galactic Solid in mind, of course, as well. But I think I feel like if they have all 4 Clone Wars maps for now, that would honestly that would be great. Like it would be a shame to not have any sequel trilogy or original trilogy content in that mode. But I think right now, if they're focusing on Clone Wars, just bring in these Clone Wars maps, make sure they're all done, and then the next few months they can slowly bring out original trilogy and then going into the sequel trilogy maps for this mode, because this mode will probably just be the main selling point. This mode will be a big selling point for this game, and if they don't add more content to it, then they're just making mistakes after mistakes, to be honest. Like, it needs to be done.
Yeah, personally, when it releases, I'm not really bothered how many maps it has, as long as I can play it, and you know, because it's gonna be a completely new game mode. It's gonna be
Yeah,
something new
absolutely.
that we've never
So
had
different.
before, at least in this game, at least.
Yeah.
And we've not really had, apart from obviously Extraction, but how long ago was that, the solo season?
Extraction. So Extraction came out in June, and then a month before that we had Hero Showdown, I think,
So
or was it
nearly
the other way
like,
around?
so basically nearly a year ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we had Hero Showdown come out in May with Solo Season Part 1. Solo Season Part 2 released a month later with Extraction,
Yeah.
and that was the. And then, sorry, a month after Extraction, so in July, we then had Hero Starfighters, but not many people play that mode. Like, to be fair, Hero Starfighters is a pretty good mode, but it's just I don't find myself playing it too much.
We did also have the Clone Troopers getting was it the new designs, or I don't know. I heard something about it.
Yeah, so basically, clones are getting pretty much complete reworks, which is awesome. You know, we've got a few more legions coming into it, which is great. I'll go over that in a sec. I'm just trying to find the CT because I just want to get it up. I'll share my screen and we can just kind of flick through it quickly. Where are you? Okay, so it could be. No, okay, it's not on the website at the moment, I don't think. But basically, you know, this new community transmission that released a couple of days ago now. Well, actually, it was about 1 a.m. GMT yesterday, actually. But basically, we're getting the Coruscant Guard and the 501st coming to the game on Wednesday. We've got the Shinies coming as well, which is the new default appearance. So as the Shinies are going to be default appearance, it's so the Kashyyyk default appearance that you see, like just the green and white, that is going to be the 41st Ranger platoon,
Yeah.
and then the Naboo default, so it's kind of the white and like a maroon, dark red sort of color, is going to be the 181st Armor Division, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's not the 327th Armor Division. It's all it is, the 181st. But yeah, they are the current Kashyyyk and Naboo default clone legions. They are going to be free to purchase. Yeah, they're going to be free to purchase when the update goes live. You can choose whether you want to be phase 1 or phase 2 on whatever map you can. So a lot of people are complaining, you know, immersion breaking, all this stuff, but it's only a game.
They actually fight together on Camino.
Yeah, so like we can see, we get to see phase 2, phase 1 fight together on Camino, Geonosis, Kashyyyk, and Naboo now as well, which I think is going to be interesting. I don't really have a big problem with it at all. I know a lot of people don't, but obviously there are going to be quite a few people who do. I've seen people express their opinions over it. Completely fine, of course. Completely fine, of course. You know, you don't have to have phase 1, phase 2, but other people, you know, people will choose to go and have that. So
that's what I mean. They fight together on Camino in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I think it's good though, you know, to allow players to have more choice between what they want to do. So I think it's really good, honestly. But another point to make is that if you buy a clone, like if you buy, so basically if you've bought the 212th, for example, when the update goes live, you are only going to have the phase 2 version of that legion, where you have to go and get the phase 1 separately. You can either buy each phase 1 for 5k credits, but there is a crate called the Chosen One crate. If you go and get that crate, which is free, you get all phase 1 clone troopers of all of the legions that are in the game so far. So that's the 41st, 327th, 91st Wolfpack, 212th. You get all phase 1 for free, which is great. As well as for some reason they're giving you the 41st Ranger platoon phase 1 and phase 2 for free, along with 60,000 credits as well. But I don't see why they're adding the Ranger platoon into that crate because they're going to be free to buy anyway. So it's a bit weird. But
Alex P brings something up that's pretty interesting. He says that he's more interested in the 501st and the Coruscant Guards over the new game mode.
well, the thing is though, like I absolutely love customization. Like customization for me in Star Wars is one of the most important things. So it's kind of like it's a big like for me it's all a big thing. You know, like the fact that they're now going into all these clone legions. We're going to have 80 unique clone appearances to choose from on Wednesday. So including defaults, the reason it's 80, we've got 10 legions, 4 classes, 2 phases. So, 10 times 4, 40 times 2, 80. Quick maths, beautiful. But like each clone appearance is going to be unique. That's the thing. So if you look at the wolf, if you go on the community transmission, I'm going to find it for you now. If you go on the community transmission, you can see that phase. If you look at phase 2, if you look at phase 2, then you can see that each clone is different. Where is? Oh, that's not C2. But yeah, you can see that they're different. That's the thing. You can see that they're different. Oh, that's the old one, for God's sake. But like if you look at the Wolf Pack, for example, the Assault is slightly different from what it is now. It is a bit more realistic. The Heavy again is slightly different. The Officer is vastly different to the others, and then the Specialist is very different as well. That's for the Wolf Pack. So you can see the differences between them, which is awesome. I'm gonna go onto Twitter to find it out. That'll be easier.
Yeah, I mean, 501st, my favorite clone legion, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
They should have been in from launch as well.
Yeah, I mean, all these.
There's no way you can't have. Let's face it, they are probably the main clone legion, and they weren't in from launch.
Yeah. The thing is, though, like there's all this clone customization that's coming out now. The majority of them were leaked back in January or even December, ages ago. So how they're not in the game now, it's how they weren't in the game initially. It's a bit weird.
And they're shooting themselves in the foot because there's all these skins, not only for clones as well, but even for the heroes. Darth Maul, Palpatine. There's all these hero skins and customization options that they could be implementing into this game. They could be making money from it, and they're not acting on it. And obviously, Ben Walk said on Twitter, it takes time to do all this stuff, which, I understand that. It does take time. It takes time to even create skins. But surely it doesn't take that long where either you're not releasing them at all or you're taking well over a year to release them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, like, I'm glad we're now getting them and they're finally getting to us and all that stuff. But they, realistically, they definitely should have been in the game beforehand. It is a shame, but I think we're getting there. But the more players, the thing is though, the more players the game gets, the more EA will service the game, and that's something that was actually mentioned in the EA investor call the other week. Is that the more players a game has, the more they will service it. So if Battlefront 2 keeps getting new players and it has regular player base, all that stuff, EA will service that game. So if Battlefront 2 can just keep going up the way it is, then I think it definitely would be interesting. I'm just gonna, if you stop screen sharing for a sec, I just want to share mine because it's going through this weird thing. Everyone, can everyone see this right now? Because it just looks like my screen is going into it's weird. But if you look at the chat, are you able to see what I'm seeing right now?
No.
You can't?
I can see it in the call, but not in the chat.
Okay.
I can see that. I can see that.
In the chat or just on the chat?
In the chat.
Okay, all right. So if you look here at the Assault, I'll try and zoom in a bit here. So
yeah, we can see now.
Okay, so the side here, where my cursor is now, that used to be grey, but that's now white. There's nothing here apart from the headband. The mirroring on the shoulder pads as well. This used to be on both sides, but that's now been taken off. So the Assault hasn't changed a huge amount, just mainly on the helmet. If you look at the heavy, however, again, nothing great here, but on the arms now as well, you've got the pattern, and they've kind of got this like triangle shape on the legs. So again, it's different, you know, different armor pieces up here with the visor, so it's pretty cool.
They do look pretty sweet, yeah.
You know, again, triangle sort of thing on the knee pads as well, so that's cool. So it's different, but you look here at the officer, there's no wolf on the helmet. Instead, the wolf is on the chest. But straight away, you can see these like kind of spikes on his helmet. It's very different. Boom, boom, line here. Almost tier sort of things. Again, officer helmet, vastly different to the heavy and the assault in terms of the pattern. Again, this kind of triangle spike pattern on the arms. We've got the receiver communicator up there, and then again, legs kind of normal. Utility belt different. Specialist here, you know, if you look at the legs on the officer, it's all kind of just grey on this side, but here again, there's a sort of triangle, very different. And then again, slightly further up to the top, triangle, blah blah. Again, so this just goes to show that the wolf pack is different. You know, phase 1, phase 2. You don't tend to see it that much with the phase 1 clone troopers, really. Again, you know, there's this the assault 501st, heavy 501st phase 1, basically the same. Basically the same with the heavy, basically the same with the specialist. So they're not too different.
They do look cool.
They do look cool, yeah, absolutely right. So this is the phase 1 assault for the 501st for phase 2, which is great. Really looking forward to these guys. The heavy, again, as you can already see, it's very different. You look at the legs, for example, you've got a tiny bit here on the shin pads, but you still got this on the heavy. This whole part of the leg below the knee is blue. I've got rectangle squares here, you know, very different. Officer, just blue utility belt, 2 lines sort of thing. Pretty cool. Specialist, blue knee pad bit, you know, 2 lines here, there, sort of thing. So, you know, they are looking different. You know, it is pretty good. I'm looking forward to them. I'm going to stop sharing the screen now. So, you know, phase 2, they're looking great. And I think the thing is, though, is that trooper customization for the clones, they have stated that they are going to be unique for each class, which is great. Phase 1 won't be that different at all. But phase 2, they're going to be trying to mix it up a bit. The 91st Clone Troopers as well are going to be having new different helmets, which is great. So that was kind of the point I was trying to get across, basically. Customization is going fully in depth now with the Clone Legion, so I'm just hoping that they can just keep going with that.
Still no new hero skins, though.
The future. Yeah, like we definitely need more hero skins for sure. I mean, like at the moment, they're just releasing the odd hero skin here and there for current heroes and stuff like that, which I can understand it, but we just need more for people like...
They've released a bandaged Chewbacca skin,
like
but we've still not got a hooded Maul skin.
Yeah, like that was just that would just be like a very quick and simple job for them to do. That's the thing, like that would have just taken someone, like realistically, that just would not have taken long at all. Like I don't know how quick these guys are going to be at.
But then putting a hood on Maul wouldn't take long either.
But, yeah, I mean, like realistically, like a bandage, like the bandage thing is just, my god, it would be the easiest skin they've ever made without a doubt. So yeah, it'd be good to get some more skins. You know, it really would. And customization for me is the most important thing. Ben did say, I think back in December, that customization is going to be stepping up this year. So I'm pretty sure he said something along that line. Like customization is getting there anyway. So I'm hoping to get some more stuff in the future. You know, because customization is a big part of Star Wars, and I think it makes the game a bit more immersive and different. So it would be great to see that. More maps, more heroes in general, and stuff like that. We need more content for everything, like weapons as well.
Something else that's been talked about is The Mandalorian. So there was a picture, I think it was posted on Twitter. I don't know who it was from. I think it was one of the directors or something.
Yeah.
Basically, they posted a picture of the Mandalorian helmet, saying that they basically finished filming. It was, however, deleted. Do you think that they have finished filming? Do you think that they just want to hold it back, Star Wars? Or do you think, I don't know, maybe it was just sort of like a hoax? I don't know. What do you think?
I think it was done by someone. who worked on it. That's for sure. I think. I don't think there would have been. I don't see why they would have posted it if it wasn't finished filming. Honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it definitely. I think it's definitely finished filming. But I just think they want to. Sorry. I think they just want to wait until a bit more of the hype for episode 9 kind of like dies
Exactly,
down.
because they've just literally released a picture for episode 9, so obviously they've got all the hype surrounding that. And then if they also say the same for Mandalorian, it's going to be like, yeah, people will be excited for the Mandalorian as well, but it'll sort of be in episode 9 shadow.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hey, I've got an email from YouTube. I can now do community posts. Good
Congratulations.
Stuff. GG. But yeah, like absolutely, like the Mandalorian, I think is definitely finished. They just kind of want to wait until the episode 9 news just kind of died down a bit, which should be fair. It probably has, honestly. Like they could definitely release the information regarding. I think they could definitely release the information regarding all this new stuff. So it'll be interesting. You know, definitely be interesting. I think it's definitely possible that it's finished, but who knows? You know, who knows? We'll have to wait and see what they bring in the next week or so. I think they'll definitely release it soon.
Timmy says, "Is it one and only season of Mandalorian?" I don't think we've had any official comments on that, but I think we are going to get more than one season.
Oh yeah, we'll actually get more. I think we'll absolutely get more than one season. I think the way I kind of see it is that the Mandalorian and the Cassian Andor TV series will both have a few seasons each, and will be like the main showrunners for the Disney Plus streaming service, and then we'll kind of get maybe some mini-series TV shows and all that stuff. So they finished filming for season 1, I believe, but that's what I think.
Alex P says, "Have you seen Old Lando in episode 9? The picture was leaked." Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good. Nothing really more to say, but yeah, he looked good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think he looks good. Yeah, I think it looks pretty awesome, actually. And going back to that leaked image and all that stuff, we actually did see Rey's kind of white cream outfit, which if you then look back to the image of them hugging, you can actually see that.
Yeah.
You can actually see that. So I think that source is definitely reliable.
The cool thing with Lando's outfit as well is it was a bit of a throwback to Solo as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Timmy also says, "What's happening with the Cassian Andor series?" Well, that's not started filming or anything yet. That
starts filming later. This year.
Is it March or something, or May? I think it starts.
I thought it was like kind of. I thought it was going to be later this year. To be honest, I thought it was going to be like August, September time it starts filming.
I can't remember. My head's just gone fuzzled. but yeah, it is going to be starting filming later this year. So we're probably not going to get anything. We might get like a little, I don't know, maybe a little teaser celebration. I don't know, but yeah, we're not going to get anything for that for a while because it's not started filming yet. But yeah, Mandalorian, it's supposedly stopped filming, finished. So I think we can definitely expect probably a teaser or maybe just a full trailer celebration with a panel. So
yeah, definitely. I think it'll be. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Actually, I think it's going to be great to get some more information about the Mandalorian. I think what I'm looking forward to the most this year definitely is going to be episode 9. But the Mandalorian does have a lot of potential, and from the images we've already seen, like the one you've got up now, like it just looks so badass. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I can't. Again, it's one of them things where I'm really intrigued by it because obviously we don't really know much apart from this image. This is really all we've got in terms of official. So I'm intrigued by it. I'm looking forward to, to a trailer, to more information, and yeah, I think the Mandalorian could be good. I think it could be really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bosk says, "What are your favorite names people have come up with for episode 9 so far?"
I think Son of Darkness and Balance of the Force are probably my top 2. I think
that was the exact 2 I was going to come up with.
I think they're both very interesting. I think they could work. So yeah, I mean, I think Balance of the Force, Son of Darkness, my top 2 definitely. I don't necessarily think they will be either of those. Balance of the Force could be likely, but
I'd probably go with Son of Darkness if I had to choose overall.
yeah, Son of Darkness sounds awesome, but I just feel like if they're going to do a title named Son of Darkness, I honestly feel like they could just pretty easily go and just say, okay, yeah, more films coming out based on these characters, because Son of Darkness for me just kind of sets up nicely for something else, honestly. So
Benji, the Battlefront, welcome by the way. He says A New Order. Yeah, I've heard that being thrown around.
Yeah, New Order sounds good. I
Yeah, it
think the
sounds
New
good.
Order could definitely be referring to the Jedi.
Yeah, yeah. I'd probably still go with Son of Darkness over all of them, though, to be honest.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But I think when they do eventually release the title, I think it's going to be better than all of them.
Yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see. You know, absolutely will. When they're going to release the title again, we just don't know. Hopefully, it'll be soon. But you know, it's interesting. You know, I'm looking forward to episode 9. There's lots of, there's always going to be lots of, you know, not necessarily leaks and such, but there's always going to be information, rumors, and stuff thrown around and all that. So, looking forward to it. We'll have to wait and see how it looks in terms of the title, but you know, I think it depends on the overall plot of the film, which obviously we don't know. I think, you know, we can all speculate, of course, but who knows? You know, I think
says, if you want one, what plot twist would be good in your mind? I'm assuming he means for episode 9.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I can't like, it would be interesting to see Kylo or Rey turn to the other side, but that just won't happen. I feel like Rey's too far on the light, Kylo's now too far gone in the dark, so that probably won't happen. I don't know. Oh, it's interesting. I think maybe like if we see that,
I'd probably say the Knights of Ren turning on Kylo.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but yeah, I think that would probably be interesting. I mean, the fact that he's essentially like the leader of the Knights of Ren, I think it would be interesting to see them turn against him.
And then sort of like him and Rey team up, maybe.
Yeah, so like another Kylo and Rey team up. So I just feel like if the Knights of Ren turn on Kylo, I just feel like Kylo would then at that point just be like, okay, I can't, like, you know, almost essentially just turn to the light. So I don't know.
So next we have Rian Johnson's trilogy. Oh boy. Yeah. So there's been a lot of stuff thrown about how it's, you know, it's cancelled, it's been canned by Disney. It is not. Mm-hmm. It's not been cancelled at all. Rian Johnson even confirmed it himself. It's still going ahead. He's still working on it. And
he's confirmed it twice now.
Yeah.
It happened a few months ago, and it's happened again recently.
Yeah, so he's definitely still working on it.
It's still going to happen, whether you're happy or sad about it.
Yeah, and apparently, I was trying to find it before the stream, obviously. Yeah. But apparently, I saw it somewhere that his trilogy was supposed to come out. The first film was supposed to come out in 2020, I think, or 2021. And apparently, because of how Solo did, apparently Lucasfilm have now pushed it back. And now the Game of Thrones showrunners, what they're doing the trilogy, apparently that's going to be before Rian Johnson's trilogy.
I don't know why they I don't know why they necessarily do that. I just think that Lucasfilm and Disney are probably thinking, okay, well, people would probably prefer this story to Ryan's story and all that stuff. And they kind of maybe want to let the whole,
especially if it's Old Republic.
Yeah, exactly. They just kind of want to let things with the whole Ryan stuff just die down a little bit. But I can't, like, the whole Game of Thrones showrunners stuff. I don't know. I don't really. Like, I mean, to be fair, if they started filming for it later this year, they could absolutely release a film next year. To be fair, like they could absolutely do that. But it's the fact that you probably think Rian Johnson's been working on his trilogy already. that actually they could definitely release a film for that. But I just think they're probably just going to wait for a bit of time and just perhaps bring out one of the Game of Thrones films, then the Ryan Johnson film, and just keep alternating between those two, possibly. I don't know, but we'll see. I suppose we'll see. Because I think what will be good is, I mean, Bob Iger said that no film, like no Star Wars film, will go to the streaming service. I don't know whether that's going to mean literally no Star Wars film will ever be on there, or it's a case
Oh well,
of
they shouldn't. They shouldn't. They should all be released in cinemas.
Well, no, that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. They should all of them should be released in cinemas, absolutely. It's whether after they've gone to the cinema, then like when they finish, they should go on the streaming service.
Oh yeah, so get released in the cinemas and then they put them onto the streams. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think like they should do that, but I don't really think they will for some reason. Like Bob Iger saying that they're not gonna like. I don't know Bob's exact quote, but he basically said that. I mean, I think he confirmed that no film will go straight to the streaming service, but I'm hoping that then obviously means that films will go on there eventually.
Bosk says, do you think any characters that no one expects will be on episode 9 as a secret? Yep, straight away.
Possibly,
I think Ahsoka's going to be in it.
So.
I think Ahsoka's in it, yeah.
I think, Ahsoka could definitely be there. It depends on... I mean, it kind of depends on a few things, but I think it'd be interesting. Like, if Ahsoka appears in episode 9, then straight away there's story there for Ahsoka. Like, how the hell did she end up there?
Well, that's what I mean. I think it'd be great if we got Ahsoka in episode 9, and then after that they sort of like announce, I don't know, like maybe
another
a TV show, yeah, and then a made show about the whole thing with Ezra and Thrawn. So it kind of like, so that with episode 9, you know, that she's still alive and well and all that. But if she was to go there alone, then you'd be like, well, where's Ezra? Where's Thrawn? And then if they announced an animated show or, you know, a TV series for the streaming service after episode 9, and then they could fill in the blank sort of thing, I think that'd be a really cool way to do it.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think that'd be really good. Lethal saying, so they can't put episode 1 to 6 on the streaming service. They don't have the rights. Yeah, so
just for the new movies.
Yeah, so I think if they put the new movies on, then I think they probably will definitely do that. I think it would be stupid for them not to, really. But yeah, they definitely won't release things straight into the streaming service, but it'll be, you know, definitely put something out in films a few months later, release on the streaming service. It's nice and easy for them to do. But yeah, new stuff I think definitely has to go on the streaming service at some point. Definitely.
Alex P says Ahsoka will be epic in episode 9. Sam says plot twist: Ahsoka appears as a dark Jedi.
She'd never do that.
No, I don't think so. I mean, no.
The fact that she was so like, it seems she was fairly passionate about the Jedi Order and all that stuff. Got shafted by them, and then at the end of towards the end of the Clone Wars, she just left the Order, is now a grey Jedi sort of thing. Like, she'd never then just suddenly become a dark Jedi for some reason, you know.
Well, although to be fair, we don't know what's out in the Outer Rim. Not at the Outer Rim, the Unknown Regions. So
yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, who knows? It'll be interesting.
At the same time, though, it would sort of downgrade Ahsoka's character, because it's like you get so many people who've looked up to Ahsoka, because obviously some people grew up with the Clone Wars, and you know Ahsoka was an inspiration to them. And then if they go and make her a dark Jedi for episode 9, it's just gonna, it's gonna throw the fandom into more of a toxic mess, you know.
Yeah, it would not be good.
Yeah, some comments about Luke.
Luke.
Yeah, they both basically put the same thing.
Yeah, no worries. We should have a face cam podcast. I was thinking about it. But... I guess we can move on to the other leaks of the TV shows.
Yeah, let's move on to that. I was just reading through the comments. But yeah, so we've now got... So yeah, a few days ago we got a leak. Well, not a leak, but it was more of a rumour. A Rose Tico show. Wow. I first saw this when I was scrolling through Twitter, and I thought, yeah, it's just a joke. Someone just taking a mic. Clicked on the link, and it's a legit, well, not a legit source, but it's a legit, news article about a Rose Tico show coming to the streaming service. Now, we should also mention that it wasn't just a Rose Tico show. We had Darth Bane, Princess Leia, young Princess Leia. We had who else did we have? Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Knights of Ren, and Phasma.
Knights of Ren and Phasma. Now, personally, I'd only be interested in Darth Bane, whether this is all true or not. I'd only want a Darth Bane series. Rose Tico straight away, absolutely ridiculous.
There's no there's no story there really.
And if that is legit, then Lucasfilm are they're stupid. They really are to do that. Phasma, not interested. We've already got a story. Just leave her as she is. Knights of Ren, depending on how episode 9 goes. If episode 9 takes it in the direction that I want them to take it with Knights of Ren, where we get a little bit of the backstory and they can develop that into a TV series, I'd be for that.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, no, don't want it. Already got his story as well. Be pointless. Who else did we have?
So Darth Bane has a lot of potential. Rose, not absolutely no. A young Princess Leia, we've got her story.
Yeah, Princess Leia as well.
There's no need for
I don't want Princess Leia.
Obi-Wan, there's just no need for it, honestly. It could possibly work as like a 6-part miniseries sort of thing, but again, not needed. Knights of Ren, depending on how episode 9 goes, there is a bit of potential for like a short series, but again, no need. Phasma as well, there's just no need for it. We've got her book, we've got her in Resistance, we got her in episode 7, episode 8. Like, there's just no need for a Phasma show, honestly. No need for it. I really like Phasma, but they just do not need to make a TV show about her.
Saint says we have nothing of a backstory for Phasma. Well, we have the books.
We've got the Phasma novel, which I haven't read yet, and I do want to.
That gives her the backstory.
But that gives us a bit of backstory behind her character as well. There's the comics as well. There's the 5-part miniseries comics as well, which is pretty good. That takes place literally as episode 8 ends. No, episode 7 ends, episode 8 starts, sort of thing. So that's not so much a thing, but
Darth Bane does already have books that you can read, but the difference is Darth Bane is a badass character. Phasma's not.
Yeah, I mean, Phasma has a lot of the thing is, Phasma as a character just has a lot of potential, but they just it's not Phasma's character. Unfortunately, it's just been I just feel like she's just been a completely wasted opportunity. She had so much potential, but the way she was in episode 7, they didn't really do her justice at all for episode 8 at all. So it's just they just completely wasted her character, honestly. It had a lot of potential. Could have been awesome, but no, they screwed up pretty much. They pretty much screwed up on that, to be honest.
Sammy says, "Oh yes, we need an Old Republic series during the Sith Jedi War." Yes, finally, someone who talks sense. We need that.
The thing is that we definitely do need it, but they just need to be careful with it.
Yeah, without a doubt, they need to treat it well.
Yeah, because they're for a lot of people, it could be great, but then for a lot of other people, it's going to be this isn't the Old Republic we know and love, sort of thing. And it's just if they were to do, I think actually Lethal does make a good point, is actually they would need to put, I think if they put a Legends banner on it, then it could, if they made a TV show on the Old Republic and it was basically how it is in Legends, then it would need to be a Legends TV show in a way. Because if they're to do an Old Republic canon TV show, then it's going to very much likely be fairly different in some aspects to the way it is in the Legends. So it's just going to be, it could cause a lot of uproar if they make
Revan into a gay male or something. I'm done.
That's the thing. They just need to be careful. Honestly, they definitely need to be careful.
And then make HK-47 have relationships with human characters like Revan or something.
It's just they do need to be careful. They don't need to go completely out of line. Just make it how the fans want it in a way. Just listen. I think an important point to make is that actually they do need to start listening more to the community, and I think community engagement with all sorts of media is just really important. To be honest, if you look at like Battlefront 2, for example, community engagement from DICE developers and all that stuff has always been, well, has mostly been a good thing. A lot of people have obviously been like criticizing them, all this stuff, but when they communicate the ideas for the game that's coming, content, all this stuff, then actually it's, most of the time it's really positive, it's great. But if we could get, I know the level of communication is not going to be the same with films and all that stuff, but if there was some sort of engagement with official Star Wars accounts regarding future content or something, I don't know quite how they would do it, and it probably wouldn't work that well. It's just me dreaming, but there's potential. If there's a bit more communication, could we get this for Star Wars, and it'd be like, oh, maybe in the future sort of thing. Like that would just go a long way. I think some sort of engagement would just go a long way instead of them just going to do their completely own thing.
Saints,
you know what I mean?
Hello mate, by the way. He says Snoke series. He says we know barely anything about Snoke, so a Snoke series would be pretty good. Snoke series, are you up for it?
I think I wouldn't mind a Snoke series, to be fair. I wouldn't mind it at all, but I think at the same time it could work maybe better as a novel, perhaps. But again, I think at the same time a TV series could work pretty well. Like if you have a TV show, you don't need to go and make a bunch of seasons for it. You could just go and make like a TV mini series, just be like 6 episodes. Special, like a 6-episode special sort of thing. You don't have to make it long. You can have, like the comics, you can have like a main series that has a bunch of seasons, and then you can have like the mini series that just has a few episodes here and there. But like, I think, as Lethal has just said, Snoke definitely should have been explained in the movies. If you
Once again, I think it all depends on what happens in episode 9.
Yeah, it definitely could happen. Like if he comes back in episode 9 and all that stuff, like that would be very interesting. There's potential there, but I don't think we need. I don't think we need a TV series for it. I think Zorkin does make a point. Like not everything needs a backstory.
But then at the same time, you've got all the people who hated The Last Jedi saying that one of the reasons they hated it was because of Snoke, because we didn't really know anything about him. So we kind of do need a backstory because, people are going on about it. So, yeah, leave some parts mysterious, like Yoda. Some people have mentioned about having a Yoda sort of spin-off show or, a movie. But I totally disagree with it because, again, leave him as he is, mysterious. We don't want to know his species. We don't want to know his backstory before, Phantom Menace or whatever. Just leave him as he is. With Snoke, though, we definitely do need a backstory, without a doubt.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the thing. Like with Yoda, like it's always cool. Like I would like to know Yoda's like backstory, speech, all that stuff. But at the same time, it's something that should just be left alone. We don't need to know it. Like me personally, I'd love to know like all the stories, the characters, all these things. But just leave it how it is. Just leave it as a mystery and all that stuff. But then for Snoke, for someone like Snoke, we need to know who he is, where he came from, sort of thing. I think it's like a necessity.
So would you want a Yoda movie?
No, like I don't think we absolutely don't need a Yoda movie at all. It would be interesting. I think it would be interesting. I think it could have potential, but if they were going to do a Yoda movie, it would have to just be in the Clone Wars or something somewhere.
Alex P says, "What about?" I'm assuming he means another TV series. He says, "What about Jango Fett and Boba Fett?"
Again, like that would be interesting, but again, do we need like it's kind of like it's not like do we need it, but it's more a case of is there a story? Like what sort of story would you want to portray?
Yeah, I wouldn't be up for that.
But I don't think there's really a need for it. Like we see a bit of Django and Boba, like we see a bit of Django kind of teaching Boba a lesson sort of thing in the whole bounty hunting in the Age of Republic comic for Django, but like you wouldn't need to make a series or film for it at all, really. So like whilst it could, whilst there is obviously potential, there's potential with all things though. That's the thing. So it's like they could do it, but I just don't think there's a story for it at all.
So overall, in terms of all these rumored, spin-off shows, whatever, Rose Tico, Obi-Wan Kenobi, all of them, do you think that there is some legitimacy to him, or
to all these leaks,
to all these TV
rumors,
shows? Yeah.
No, honestly, I don't. Like, I think there's potential for like maybe one or two, but at the same time,
does that include a Rose Tico one?
No, no. Like, honestly, the only one that expresses a main interest for me would just be a Darth Bane one. But again, like all of these, I mean, like they released 6 articles about TV shows coming to the streaming service, all within about 24 hours. That just to me screams utter crap.
But then,
it's just
after all these supposed rumors, does this not make you wonder? Does Disney and Lucasfilm actually have a plan, a legitimate plan for where they want to go with Star Wars after the Skywalker saga has ended?
To be honest, I think honestly, I feel like they're probably like talking about it, but I don't think they've got a massive plan with it because I feel like whilst they're going to be going through, with Rian Johnson's trilogy and the Game of Thrones showrunners film series, like whilst they're going to be doing that, they're probably just gonna want to keep, to the Skywalker saga with TV shows, all these other things. Like I think they're gonna want to keep to that as well, just to keep that sort of area of Star Wars like more alive, sort of thing, I guess. But I don't think they've got like a concrete plan really. It's like we'll have to wait and see what they bring out for us, I think. But I think they just need to be a bit more. I think they need to be careful. Really, they don't want to like kind of overdo it too much. But I think they probably just need to have a proper sit down and think, right, okay, where do we want to go next? We've got all these, there's the whole 30 years between episode 6 and episode 7, which they could go and actually do a few stories here and there. But at the same time, I don't really think there's going to be a lot of story at that point anyway. So it's just like we don't need to really know anything about it too much. They've got the odd thing here and there, like telling what happened at some stages, but there's going to be, a good part of like 25, to 30 years in that 30-year gap that actually nothing really happened. So it's probably just worth just leaving that alone, honestly, and just maybe moving into other things. But at the same time, like, where in the timeline would you go next?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, completely. Sempy says series on the events of Jedi Fallen Order, Order 66. No, we're getting the game. We've got the comics. Leave it as it is, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, we don't need it. We're getting the game. Like, there's no need to go and do a series on it.
Them rumored shows, if you could pick any to actually have, what would you go for?
I'd just go Darth Bane, honestly. It's the only one that expresses major interest and potential, to be honest. Like Rose Tico, the potential for a show there. Really. a young Princess Leia, like, again, we see her in Rebels, we've seen her in the films. We don't need a story for her again. There's books as well. Like, just leave that alone. There's no need for it. Obi-Wan,
I can't believe that we're here today just talking about a Rose Tico TiVo series.
Oh, man. But so going through this quickly, sorry. Rose Tico, no show needed. Leia, we've already got enough, don't need. Obi-Wan's kind of got potential, but at the same time, there's just no need for it at all. I don't see the point. Knights of Ren, depending on what happens in episode 9, there's no need for it, and there's not a lot of story. Phasma, there's not really a lot of story to go and give out anyway, so just don't do it. Darth Bane, again, they really, really, really don't need to do it, but it has the most potential out of all of them, to be honest. So if I was to have one to come, then out of all those 6, then it would be the Darth Bane show, simply because it has more potential than all of the others, honestly.
I completely agree. If we're talking about just that list, without a doubt. But if you could make any TV series, though, surrounding any characters in Star Wars, what would you choose then?
That's the thing. Like, I remember being asked this before, and I just, if there was basically, if I don't know, I'm just trying to think because honestly, I don't really feel like there would need to be a TV series on any of the characters. Really, I think if there was going to be any TV series, like if Solo doesn't get a sequel in terms of films, then I think they could do a TV series kind of sequel to that because there was a Lando and Kira TV show leaked as well, but
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I forgot
so
about
yeah,
that.
there was that leak as well, rumor. I think honestly, like thinking about it, that's on characters on already existing characters. That's the only show I would probably think has the most scope for it really. But at the same time, like TV series, I just think can be left to new characters mainly. Honestly,
I mean, I think the whole thing of Lando and Solo that's just put me that puts me off a Lando TV series.
yeah.
Kira, in terms of Solo, yeah, she was all right. I didn't really hate her, but I didn't love her also. But if the TV
Mhm.
series was going to go into the whole thing with Darth Maul and everything with the Black Sun and crime syndicates, then
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. I think that'd probably be the one that I wanted to see out of all of them.
Mhm.
But it's just about whether they do that or not. If they did go to a Kira show,
Yeah, like, I don't like they could do it, but again, I think it would. I think these things would work quite nicely in regards to a sequel in terms of films. And it's just a shame that Solo got such bad reception because I mean I really enjoyed it and there's it sets up for a sequel really nicely. So it's like they could definitely go and make one. Um, but I guess we'll have to wait and see really.
yeah, I mean, if they do really make a Rose Tico TV series,
Mm-hmm.
then
They'd be shooting themselves in the foot.
I think I'll be done with canon Star Wars if they do that. A Rose
Yeah,
Tico TV series, I can't get over it.
it's just laughable, honestly. It really is. Like, uh,
But
like
imagine if they are actually considering that.
I don't know why they would be considering it. To be honest, like, where are they going to go?
Well,
That's the,
where have they seen all these positive points about Rose is our favourite character now? I've not seen any.
I haven't. I haven't at all. Like a lot. Like if people were going to say Rose is my favorite character now, it's probably just to stand up to what's happened about the whole thing.
Exactly. And it just wouldn't make sense either. Like, what would they do it about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh man, I really don't know. I
It's
really
like
don't.
you can either have a Rose Tico TV series, or you can have a TV series about some badass Jedi who fights Sith, or a badass Sith who fights Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
I know which one I choose.
Rose Tico, obviously.
Obviously, yeah, Rose Tico, without a doubt.
Honestly,
It's laughable,
it
and
really is. Yeah.
I mean, I think it is probably fake, but it's still something to talk about at the end of the day, and
Mm-hmm.
I just can't get over it.
Yeah, it is. It's a strange one. To be fair, it is a very strange one, but I don't think it's going to happen.
What do you think is going to happen to her in episode 9, though? Do you think they would kill her off, even with all the backlash, or?
I honestly feel like if she died in episode 9, there would just be a lot of people like celebrating. Like, I can just see. Like, honestly, I personally have nothing against Rose. I don't think she's a great character, but I can see it now. If she dies in episode 9, there would be loads of fans saying, like, "Oh yay, Rose died!" All this stuff. And it's just like,
Oh, I have nothing against the actor. It's just I don't like Rose Tico as a character. Simple as
yeah,
that.
that's the thing. Yeah.
If she did die in episode 9, I'd probably cheer. In all honesty, I mean, I like to watch
Yeah.
movies in peace. Like, I don't want anyone like talking to me or people talking to each other where I can hear them when I'm trying to watch a movie. But
Yeah.
if Rose Tico gets killed off, I I won't care. I'll cheer straight away.
Stand up and just be like, oh, bravo, bravo.
Because it'll be in my instant reaction. I won't be able to help it.
Yeah, I don't know.
In all honesty, though, they should have done it in Last Jedi. It should have been her driving the speeder instead of Finn.
I mean, like, the thing is, though, like, if she, like, her crashing into Finn and all that stuff, like, if she died at that point, then, like, it would have been, I think that probably would have been, like, okay. I think that would have probably been all right. Like, she didn't, like, loads of people wouldn't have liked her, but it kind of would have been that point, like, she's probably definitely going to come up in episode 9 at some point, but it's just how they'll do it, we don't know. That, or her character essentially, like, off doing something else, or
that's another
in
thing.
the period of, like, there's the fact that she could be doing something completely different, or her character died in the gap between
Exactly.
8 and 9.
That is what I was going to bring up. If there's going to be a few years gap between episode 8 and episode 9, then she could have died in that gap, or she could be off doing other things, and we might not even see her in episode 9.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't see. I don't know whether there's going to be that much scope for Rose as a character in episode 9 at all.
I mean, we're going to take a story from here.
I feel like in terms of Rose's story, I don't really know. She's just going to be there to support like the main trio. But honestly, I just feel like this where was I? Where was I? Like, episode 9, I feel like it's going to very heavily focus on Poe, Rey, and Finn, honestly. So,
yeah, I agree. Because, well, actually, I don't know, because episode 7, Han's movie, episode 8, Luke's movie, is episode 9 going to be Leia's movie?
Wait. Yeah, I mean, I kind of know what you mean, actually, yeah, because, like, episode 7 did have a very big focus on Han, actually, to be fair. Episode 8 had a big focus on Luke, so there's potential that she could have, that episode 9 could have.
Obviously, there's no denying, obviously, the main characters are not Rose, Rey, and Finn and Poe. They're the main trio.
Yeah.
But these sequel movies, they're sort of like, you had Han, episode 7 was his movie. He got killed off at the end of it. Episode 8, Luke's movie. I mean, he supposedly got killed off. We don't know if he is actually dead.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 9, Leia's movie. So there's a lot of talk about how Disney are disrespecting the original trio, which was obviously Luke, Leia, and Han.
Yeah.
But these movies are actually their movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we've got the main cast. We've got, Finn, like I said, Finn, Rey, Poe. But these movies are the original trilogy characters' movies. Their movies.
Yeah, there is a big focus on them, to be fair. I never really thought about it that way, but there is definitely a massive focus on these original trilogy characters.
Yeah, and obviously there could be more original trilogy throwbacks and more original trilogy characters show up, but I mean, I'm happy with what we've got so far for the original characters. Obviously, there are faults like with Luke's story and with Han's story, and there is that big thing about how we've not seen them together in a sequel trilogy, which, yeah, fair enough, but it is what it is. Just because certain fans aren't liking what they see, and because they thought, oh, we're going to get this big reunion with Luke, Leia, and Han, and then they don't get it, is that really a reason to hate on the sequel trilogy?
No, not really. Not
exactly.
Really.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't have its other faults. It has many other faults, yeah.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that's a fault. Definitely not.
No.
It's just exceeding people's expectations.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think, like, a lot of people, I feel like, were expecting the sequel trilogy to just be so, like, prominent with the original trilogy characters. But, like, I feel like, actually, the way we've got it at the moment is that there is a big focus on the original trilogy characters as well, but at the same time, it is focusing on the new trio. So it's like, well, in a way, actually, it kind of feels like Luke is part of, like Luke is on par with Rey and Kylo in The Last Jedi, and then Han is like on par with like Finn, um, Rey and Kylo and all that stuff. Like it just feels like they're not necessarily the main focus, but they just have a big role in it, like these main characters. That's kind of how it feels to me. And I feel like what a lot of people were expecting is that they would have like the main spotlight, which they don't.
There was also that ridiculous thing on Twitter that I saw a while ago, which was that Kylo is more powerful than Vader.
No. Mm-hmm.
And apparently the reason for that is because Snoke said in The Last Jedi about how something about Kylo being most powerful or something like that. And apparently that means that he's more powerful than Vader now.
No, he won't be. He won't be more powerful than Vader.
Vader would absolutely destroy Kylo without even breaking a sweat.
Yeah, I feel like Kylo's going to be, he's going to be fairly powerful, I think, but not.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Vader
Nowhere near as powerful as Vader though.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Somebody says he hasn't seen The Last Jedi. Oh, could anyone tell me what happened to Leia in the end? Well, basically she lived. So yeah, we're going to get her in episode 9. Obviously, Carrie Fisher's no longer with us anymore, but I think JJ is going to be using unused footage from The Force Awakens. So
yeah,
we'll see how that pans out. Should be interesting. I'm intrigued by it. Zorkin says Luke, Leia, and Han should not have been in the sequel trilogy in the first place. See, I disagree with that. They should be. They should be in the sequel trilogy.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely feel like they should be in it, but it's just kind of what they were. I feel like Han in Episode 7, I felt was good, but Luke, like Han and Leia, I think are great in the sequel trilogy so far. Apart from the odd bit in The Last Jedi with Leia flying was a bit strange. But I feel like Luke's character is the one that is mainly being like shafted the most out of anyone, really.
Semper says basically the new trilogy is trying to say that the original characters are truly gone, and now it is time for the new generation to come in, telling us fans to move on with something new. Well, you can't have the same thing forever. You can't always have the original characters in the movies. They're gonna have to move on at some time, and obviously Han's dead, Luke's supposedly dead. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. But like I understand that people I understand that many people grew up with, so I understand that people grew up with all the original trilogy characters, prequels, and stuff like that. But surely at some point you need to move on to something new. I mean, I know.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's the same
bit,
for people who grew up with the Clone Wars and Ahsoka dies. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing is though, is that like Disney went and bought Lucasfilm, ages ago, and so Lucasfilm obviously went and bought Disney. Disney went and bought Lucasfilm, and as like a kind of business perspective, they need to actually they kind of want to go and keep on making content for Star Wars. They want to keep on bringing out stories to make them money, all this stuff, and they're not just going to suddenly stop with Star Wars films, are they? They're just not going to out of the blue stop making films and all that stuff. Like, yeah, okay, they could keep doing novels, comics, all this stuff, but the films are going to be a big source for them, and actually, they obviously could stop, and I think a lot of people probably would like them to stop where they even not have made the sequel trilogies or stop after this sort of thing. But from a business point of view, they're just not going to do that.
Yeah, without a doubt. Disney, when they first bought Star Wars, they was always going to make new movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like straight away they confirmed that there's going to be a new trilogy and 3 anthology films anyway. So
yeah,
that's what they confirmed. Hang on a sec. cool. Right, sorry about that.
No worries.
Where were we? Yeah, so like they obviously already announced a bunch of stuff, and now they're announcing TV series and all this stuff. Like they're going into new, different avenues, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing.
No, no.
Style like if it's definitely gonna feel weird that there's gonna be Star Wars content that doesn't have like any Skywalker saga sort of stuff. It's gonna be weird to start with, sure, but I don't think Star Wars should necessarily be limited to that in any way. It's a vast galaxy.
Yeah.
You know, it's an absolutely massive galaxy that's going to have a lot of potential for stories and stuff like that. Whether it's going to be, you know, depending on the time frame, because that's the thing, they could be making new films and styles and all that stuff, but like depending on when they're set, like Ryan Johnson's trilogy could very well be set during Ryan Johnson's trilogy could very well be set in the times of the Empire, but it won't necessarily have any connections to Vader or Palpatine. So at some point, you know, it's going to be something different and all that stuff. Like, you know.
Semper says, it goes on to say, what's difficult here is that us fans have grown to love the original trilogy and we started loving the prequels. So if something is unfamiliar to us, we'd hate it right at that point. Yeah, that's what I mean. The prequels, when they first came out, they were absolutely hated on. Like, nothing I'd ever seen before. Same with the sequels now. So I'm not saying that in time, the sequels, people are going to grow to love them, the people who hate them right now. But all I'm going to say is that the prequels now, people that I see who hated them, they now love them. So, like I say, I'm not saying that's going to happen in the sequels, but it's just how people are nowadays. They hate on things. So,
and I think it's because of like Star Wars moving into something that's so different to anything else. I think honestly, a lot of people are like they just hate the change. You know, they just absolutely hate the change, which I can understand. Like, change is always difficult
change
sometimes,
is a good thing.
but at the same time, yeah, change is a good thing.
You can't always stick with the same themes all the time.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And this isn't me saying that the sequel trilogy is perfect. I'm not. I like the sequel trilogy as it is, but I realize it has faults. But at the same time, some of the things that people say just don't make sense. It's just a reason to hate.
Yeah.
And
yeah, absolutely.
Awesome Burger, welcome. He says, is Snoke still alive? I think so. I think he's still alive.
Well, I think he probably could be, yeah. I think people want you to get off the Rose stuff.
Oh, the Rose. I think it's funny. I'm keeping it on. Lethal Lightning still don't like the prequels. Oh, I thought you liked the prequels, but hey, everyone has their opinion. I mean, I like the prequels. Revenge of the Sith is not only my favorite Star Wars movie, but it's my favorite movie ever. So
it's a bloody good film.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, we've got Nivelef as well. He's in the chat. Good to see you, man. Leave the rolls up. Yeah, I'm leaving it up. Wait, if you want me to change it, what should I change it to?
Yeah, let us know, peoples.
Got Jedi Jazzer as well. He's in the chat. Welcome, man. Great to see you. Snoke is dead. I don't think he is. I think it's wasted. If he's dead, if he really is dead.
Yeah, like the thing is that again, it's just a bit of a wasted. Like Snoke so far has just been a bit of a wasted opportunity. They could bring him back and have a lot of potential for episode 9 and stuff like that, but it just depends on how they play it
out. Semper says change is a good thing. Yeah. Like the Phantom Menace telling us that the Force is based on the amount of midichlorians. Yeah, exactly. Change is a good thing. There can be faults about stuff, like sequel trilogy has its faults, and the Phantom Menace had its faults. I didn't think the Phantom Menace was a brilliant movie. I liked it. I like all the Star Wars movies, but no movie is perfect. I've said it loads of times before, and I'll keep on saying it.
Yeah.
Austin Burke says, we don't like the changing of Star Wars. We want the original Star Wars like the old ones. We can't have the same things forever. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, if they just kept going around things like the originals and all that stuff, they would just get really dull and boring, and it's like there's no point. There really would just be no point in doing it. So just like go into ventures new, explore something else that you've never explored before. Like the Mandalorian is going to be interesting. The Mandalorian is going to be interesting. It's going to be very different to anything we've got right now. And again, the story potential is, it's pretty much big story potential. So it's gonna be like awesome. Mandalorian, I can't wait for that. Cassian as well. It's gonna be, obviously a character we've already seen before, but into his backstory of things that he's done in the past, a lot of missions, hopefully, from the rebellion, stuff like that. Like it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I've actually just thought of two things we've not actually spoken about yet: Star Wars Resistance and Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures. I want to start with Galaxy of Adventures first because there's been a lot of controversy around it. What are your thoughts on it? Have you seen any of the cuts? What do you
Honestly,
think?
no, I haven't really seen any of Galaxy of Adventures, to be honest. Like I've seen like one or two, and I've seen clips here and there from others, but I haven't seen some of them. But yeah, I did see like the other week there was just a huge amount of like hate for this Leia and Luke one. Like, Leia,
Did you see that one?
I haven't actually seen it, but I did like see certain parts of it, and it's just like the whole Leia hitting Luke sort of thing, and Luke fumbling around with the with the wire and all that stuff. Like,
Man, it just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't.
yeah, I don't quite understand that. I guess I get it. I get that it's for young children and stuff like that, but I think that a good point that was made is that Leia is essentially hitting he's hitting her brother in that way for him, messing up with all that stuff. And it's just like, you're showing this message to kids. You're showing that it seems to be all right to hit your family and all that stuff. And it's obviously not. So that's kind of the main thing I saw. And I don't understand why they portrayed Luke in that way. It's very strange, but
I mean, I said this from day one. As soon as this show was announced and the whole Star Wars Kids thing,
yeah,
it is completely useless. What does this make them money? I don't know. I genuinely am confused about it because not only because of the money side of things, but why? Because you've got the animation style might be good, and some people may enjoy them, and kids, because obviously that's who it's targeted at. But why do you need Galaxy of Adventures to tell the story of Star Wars? They can just watch the movies.
Yeah, there's no point. Like, what it just, it's weird because.
And then you're just going to confuse the kids because they're going to grow up, and then eventually, if they've not already, they're going to watch the actual Star Wars movies.
And it'll be like, oh, hey, this didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be like, wait, this never happened in Galaxy of Adventures when I watched Star Wars. What's going on? And then as they grow older, they're going to realize, wait, no, that's not the real Star Wars. The real Star Wars is the movies. So it makes no sense from a money side of things and also a business side of things because you're just going to confuse kids.
The whole Galaxy Adventures thing is just a waste of time, to be honest. It really is.
Like, there has obviously been a lot of controversy around it, but then I've also seen people defending it on Twitter, and I'm like, how can you defend it? You cannot defend it.
Yeah, like some people, when Galaxy Adventures first came out, a lot of people were like, oh yeah, I love it, it's great and all that stuff. And I watched, like, some of them are quite cool. Like kind of one of the ones I watched was interesting, but it's just like it's there to I suppose get very young kids into Star Wars, but then it's just so different. It's like, well, if you want to get into Star Wars, just watch the bloody films, honestly. Like,
so are you like me and just not interested in it at all?
I'm not that fussed, to be honest. Like, it's trying to tell the stories we already know anyway, just in a slightly different way.
And love as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's telling the stories that we know and love, and I just don't see the point in it, honestly, at all.
We'll get onto Resistance, but there's just some chat here. Sempi says, Disney had an opportunity in creating new stories and being loved by the majority if they continued making them in errors that we were familiar with. But since it's for the younger generation, this happened. Yeah.
Wait.
That's not, yeah, I don't get the ending, but yeah, Disney has an opportunity in creating. Well, you see, again, is it a bad thing that they're coming out with new content? Do you just want to see the same old characters being used repeatedly? You know,
Like,
at least we
I
now
don't
have
like.
closure, and and we don't have to
Yeah,
see
I
him
mean,
again.
the thing is that I don't mind. I don't mind them using old characters as long as it's for new content. If it's for like basically like if it's Galaxy of Adventure, sorry, and it's just repeating something from the films, then there's just no point for it. Like, it's not going to interest me at all, really. So,
Talking
like,
about Galaxy of Heroes, we should also quickly mention that the B1 Battle Droid and the Droidicas have been added, and General Grievous has got a rework as well. So, if you play Galaxy of Heroes, then something for you.
A bit of info for you.
But yeah, Galaxy of Adventures, I'm not keen on it at all, and especially with what I've seen now, it's just no, not a chance.
Yeah, I'm not too fussed with it, to be honest. Definitely, like, you can definitely skip it, and it's just telling us the stories you already know from the films, and it's just in like a fairly unrealistic way.
Yeah, not a fan. Niverleft says, I see its faults. I choose not to let these faults cause me to hate a franchise that I grew up loving. I'm exactly the same. I realise that the sequel trilogy has its faults and other things, other aspects, but I just managed to look past them and enjoy the movies for what they are, in all honesty.
Yeah. Like, I know there are faults, but I still love it, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So I'm looking forward to episode 9, really.
The Star Wars Larkin says the Star Wars movies aren't just for kids; they're for everyone. Everyone enjoys them, regardless of what George Lucas's original intention was. Yeah, that's true. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, they are for everyone. Tommy Juice. Tommy Juice is in the chat. Says, "Hey everyone, not able to stay and listen. I'm at work. My boss is in his office behind me and hates me watching stuff. I'm annoyed. Left a like, of course. Bye. Take care, Tommy, mate. Have a good day at work." Yeah, what was you going to say about the comment?
Yeah, so obviously, like, George Lucas obviously did intend it for kids, but there's no
he did.
Everyone, like, the people of all ages, have grown up and now, just falling in love with Star Wars and just enjoying it from all ages and stuff like that. And that's something that actually they need to realize, is that people of all age, like, they can't just keep focusing on the younger generation for Star Wars. They need to try and cater to everyone. So, okay, if they brought out a few more films that were more based at a slightly younger audience, and then brought out like a TV series based at the older generation sort of thing, like a bit more like kind of R-rated lightsaber combat sort of stuff, like, that'd be sick. Like, that'd be great. But it would be it would be good if they catered more for all audiences, because right now, obviously, with the anime, like, excluding what we're getting right now, just the TV shows are focused at kids. Clone Wars, Rebels, Resistance, are all focused on the younger generation. Obviously, now with the Mandalorian coming and Cassian, I think that's going to be. I think that'll be more aimed at kind of later generation, and we'll see how it goes, really. It'll be kind of more aimed towards everyone, hopefully, but it'll have less of a child theme,
And yeah, they are talking about the comments about the new films feel different to the previous ones. I agree. It definitely has a total different vibe, but
yeah,
it is what it is. Niverleft says, kids make companies the most money, though, so it makes sense what they're doing. It does suck, though. Yeah, I agree with that again. Yeah. Kids make the most money for any franchise, so...
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, the thing is, though, like, yeah, there's a point about kids make the most money for the franchise, which, okay, yeah, but it's more a case of families, honestly. I think it's more a case
that
of
obviously doesn't mean that they have to center it all towards kids.
Yeah, like, the thing is, though, like, yeah, okay, kids are going to be watching all that stuff, but then their parents, for example, with certain things, their parents are going to have to be the ones spending money and taking them there to do all these things. So actually, it's more families will make the money for it. So if people have, so yeah, okay, it's basically kids do make the most money for it, but it's more on that. It's more a case of actually like families will make the most really because parents, all that stuff, have to do all these things. Well, we'll have to do certain things with their children, all that stuff anyway. So
I do just want to quickly talk about Resistance as well. Obviously, heard last night that you've caught up with it. I've caught up with it as well. Last episode, I think, was really good. I think it was great. Setting things up. Obviously, we're getting into the Force Awakens stuff now. Poe's going away with BB-8 to Jakku. Obviously, the start of Force Awakens. So I'm really excited for it. What do you think?
I'm like thinking about it now. Like all the tie-ins to the Force Awakens it's great. Honestly, like Poe going to Jakku with BB-8 now. Like we're basically like this next episode. I think we will basically be in the Force Awakens now. To be fair, like it's so close to it now. We should hopefully see quite a bit of action on the Colossus. Hopefully we'll hear stuff about Poe's mission, all that stuff. But you could probably just go and, depending on how Poe, like if there's anything regarding Poe and his mission to Jakku in the next few episodes and all that stuff, you could pretty much literally go and watch Star Wars Resistance all the way up until the episode that just released on Sunday. Obviously you see Poe zooming away in his X-Wing with BB-8. Going through hyperspace, you see him just jump, and you see Kaz jump, and then it's the end of the episode a little bit later on. But after you see Poe jump, you could probably just go and stick Force Awakens on, and like boom,
here
you are. He's just jumped to Jakku, and
it's a great way to set Force Awakens
do that. So yeah, like it does feel like it set Force Awakens up really nicely.
There is still people asking me in the chat to change the picture, so I have changed it. Don't worry. But yeah, I really like Resistance. I've said it before. When it was first announced, I wasn't really keen on it, but when I gave it a chance, I'm really enjoying it. It's tying into things as well, which I think is the best part about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The fact that it does tie in, the fact that it is tying into things is great.
Are you excited for upcoming episodes?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to. Towards the end of season 1, and then like as soon as season 1 ends, I'm just going to be looking forward to season 2. Honestly, I think it's been a good start to the show. Looking forward to more. Hopefully, it will tie into things.
Do you think season 2 will tie more into The Last Jedi?
Well, the fact that The Last Jedi takes place so short, right after episode 7, I just feel like episodes 7 and 8 could be portrayed in just at the end of season 1, to be honest, because each episode of Resistance seems to take place, a few weeks after each other, sort of thing. So, like a week or so after, and all this stuff, basically. So it just kind of feels like actually, they need to. They could easily just do. Force Awakens, Last Jedi kind of story towards the end of season 1. Season 2 can then just be a nice build. Yeah, season 2 can just be a bit of a nice build up towards episode 9. Episode 9 obviously releases, and then there's just stuff going on here and there. It should be really nice to do that.
Yeah, I agree with all that. Overall, I'm really liking Resistance. Season 2, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Like we said, hopefully it ties into The Last Jedi. Yeah, do you think it would go beyond season 2?
I think it could do. I think the fact that there's probably, depending on the gap between episode 9, 8 and 9, I think they could possibly get
without a doubt,
2 more seasons in, possibly. I don't know whether they'd really need to go anywhere beyond that. But I'm just hoping that Resistance can go if Resistance goes and has 3 seasons, then after Resistance finishes, they then go and do another animated show based on Ahsoka and all that stuff, sort of thing. Ezra, Thrawn, all that.
Yeah, I think yeah, Ahsoka. It's hard with the Ahsoka Ezra and Thrawn thing because I honestly thought as soon as Rebels ended, then they announced it straight away that we're getting a new animated series surrounding Ahsoka, Thrawn, and Ezra, and we didn't get that. Obviously, we got Resistance, but I don't want them to come into Resistance. There are people saying that we could see their stories in Resistance, but I just want it to be a separate thing from Resistance.
Yeah, I think it could definitely just be a separate thing, to be honest.
And I wouldn't want the art style for Resistance to be involved with their story as well, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, no, I don't think they need. They just don't need to tie it all into Resistance. To be honest, like Resistance just needs to tie into.
I think it deserves its own show, basically.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Yeah.
Sam says, "What does the future look after the First Order Resistance War? Would there be another Republic? Because we know it will all end with the good guys winning." I don't know.
Because like the thing is though, like the point is with a lot of things is that if there's like a big evil army and a good army sort of thing fighting against each other, then if the bad guys win, then there's always going to be another thing, like another film or series or something, to allow the good guys to win. But then if the good guys win, then that's just tends to be the end of that. Like it's really annoying actually how that works out. But I think there could be something beyond that, but I don't think there's necessarily going to be too much.
Even with the Resistance winning in Episode 9, though, they're still going to have heavy losses.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean,
and it's always going to be...
I think Rose and Finn are going to die, personally. And I think there's going to be quite a lot of other shocks for the Resistance in Episode 9 in terms of, people dying and everything. So, yeah, ultimately, in the end, of course, yeah, they will win, probably. But they're not going to go down without heavy losses, I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They will face heavy losses, and I think there's always going to be potential beyond that, like to see the First Order possibly try and come back, sort of thing. But that would just be very reminiscent of the Empire.
Yeah, we want something different from the previous trilogies.
Yeah, we just want something different, but it just depends on what that would be.
But yeah, Episode 9, overall, I'm looking forward to it. Mandalorian, looking forward to that. Casting show, yeah, looking forward to that. Even though we've not really got anything on that just yet. In terms of the rumored shows, I mean, we've already talked about Rose Tico, so
yeah.
But yeah, the other shows, yeah, like we said, we're only really keen on the Darth Bane one and the Kira one. Resistance, really enjoying it. Can't wait for season 2 and for obviously the remaining episodes of season 1. Galaxy of Adventures, just a complete no-go, really. Yeah, overall, I'm excited for a few things. Galaxy of Adventures, stuff like that. I'm just not keen on at all.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
But overall, another great podcast, I think. Very successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd say so. It's good.
Thank you for everyone that came out. I hope everyone enjoyed my pictures on the screen, especially the picture I've got on right now, a dozen roses.
Oh, God.
Oh, wait, we've got... Sempi says, have you guys seen... Oh, boy. Have you guys seen the Old Republic CGI cutscenes? Imagine that as a film.
That'd be awesome. That would be pretty cool.
Oh, man. Just thinking about it. God. Oh. Zorkin says, what's Galaxy of Adventures again? Yeah, let's not talk about that. Lethal Lightning says, Branson, just to pick your brain, you said you want to see different stuff. Well, sequels is based at Empire versus Rebels Volume 2. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. But there are other different things in sequels. But yeah, I agree with that. Sempi says, oh yeah, the Mustafar scene.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, until now. Until now.
Should we do it?
Yeah, we can do. We can do. I'm just trying to get.
Where do you want to go from, though? Do you want to go from where we see Padme, or do you want to see just Anakin and Obi-Wan?
I think we just need just Anakin and Obi-Wan, like that whole fight part, really.
So wait.
Oh, to be fair, like we could do the whole like Padme stuff you wanted.
What do you want, Sempi? Sempi was the one that requested this, I think. So I think it's up to him. He should have the deciding vote. Just read some comments whilst we're waiting for that. Zorkin says the Star Wars The Old Republic cinematic trailers are on their own way better than The Last Jedi. I mean, this is coming from someone that likes The Last Jedi, and I completely agree. Just actually give me a sec. I just need to go and quickly do something.
Give it your best shot. Well, the thing is though, like I feel like I could do Obi-Wan better than Anakin, but I don't know. Like, who would you want to do? Obi-Wan, Anakin? It's up to you. This is emotional. I can see it. I'm reading it now and it's just like, you will not take it from me. And he goes quickly. You can start from Obi-Wan showing up on Padme's shuttle. Okay. Just do you were the chosen one. Okay. Leave just that part as well. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. So yeah, Sempi wants it to be from the start, but then Zorkin Lethal says just do the you were the chosen one part.
Yeah, but see, Sempi requested it, so
yeah.
Do you want to just like hang out with the chat for a bit first, though?
Yeah, we can do. I actually like really need the toilet. So
do you want to go now then?
Quickly.
Yeah.
Wait. What do you want to do this now or?
No, just go. You can go to the toilet.
All right, guys. I'll be back soon. Apologies.
What have we got here? Zorkin says, "No, seriously, what's Galaxy of Adventures?" Okay, so basically, it's like it's an animation basically, but it's like it's retelling the Star Wars movies, but it's in a kiddie version. So it's got all the scenes like the Death Star scene with Luke and Leia, but in Galaxy of Adventures, Leia's like sort of leading Luke, if you get what I mean. She like treats him like a bit of a, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, basically she's like taking a lead, whereas obviously in the actual movie it's Luke who's obviously leading the charge. So, and there are a few other questionable things in there as well. So there's been a lot of controversy around it. So yeah, that's what Galaxy of Adventures is. So it's basically summed up. It's the Star Wars films, but supposedly kids version. So yeah. Semper says, "Oh damn, we're getting it. Yeah, we are. We're getting it. Give it your best shot, guys. Sure will." Zorkin says, "I requested that Mark and Guy do it. Am I not good enough, Zorkin? Am I not good enough?" Semper said, "You could start from Obi-Wan showing up to Pad." Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, just any part would be fine. I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to do from the start. From like the Padme bit and everything. I don't know though. Sam says, "I never really expected this to happen as this seems to be a very serious podcast, but now that we're guessing it, I'm really fine with any part. I just wanted to hear your voice impressions." Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a serious podcast, but it's a bit of fun as well. So completely fine. Completely fine. If you want to hear more voice impressions, just check out my my voiceover trailers. Awesome Burger says, "Read this. The new actors involved in the film are not charismatic. Sorry, I do not conquer the viewer's play." I don't know. I mean, the new actors. So I'm assuming you mean like Daisy Ridley and Oscar Isaac and Adam Driver. I I like them as actors. No matter whether you like him in the film or not, that doesn't mean that they're bad actors. It's just the way that the writing. So, Dawkins says, even though I dislike Revenge of the Sith, I will admit that the You Were the Chosen One scene is amazing. Lightsaber fight sucks though. Oh man. That was like the best in the Star Wars films, mate. You're the Chosen One scene is yeah, the Chosen One scene was amazing as well, so Zorkin says, wait, that's a thing. It definitely is a thing. Zorkin, if you go into YouTube and you type in Star Wars Kids, then it comes up with all the things that they've put out for it, so you can watch some of them. But I'd say just watch the Death Star one with Luke and Leia, and then you'll understand what I mean. You're way better. Thank you, Zorkin. Semper says, "Oh, Branston, I've seen your voiceover trailers. I love them." Well, there is actually a thing about them. Oh, he's back. He's back himself.
Yeah, boy. All right.
TCS is in the chat. Welcome.
Hey.
Zorkin says, "Star Wars Kids is a thing too."
Yes.
Yeah, like we were saying before, we don't really get it at all. We really don't.
No point.
Yeah, like I say, the movies were originally meant for kids anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So then,
yeah,
obviously, other people grew to love them, not just kids in the end. But then still, it's like, well, why would you then still go and make, Galaxy of Adventures for kids? Senpai Galaxy of Adventures is awesome. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinions, but I mean, I wouldn't have been that bothered about it if they didn't put all the controversy into it. Like, just make it accurate to the movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no point in like changing it.
Galaxy of Adventure. Star Wars is too scary for kids. We need to make flash animations. Look at the photos of people seeing the original trilogy. Not many kids. Yeah, I mean, no, that's what I mean. It was George Lucas originally meant it for kids. But obviously, that's not how it turned out in the end. So, I mean, it is what it is. Would you? Oh, someone's asking you a question, Mark.
I'd like to see Battle of Berlin be recreated in a Star Wars way. Honestly, like I haven't like seen or looked into anything regarding Battle of Berlin at all, to be fair, so I wouldn't know. I guess it could possibly be quite cool, but I have no knowledge of it, so someone's asking a question.
Somebody says, "What if Luke and Leia were both sent into Tatooine or Alderaan?" Wait, what do you mean?
As in, like, what if they were both sent there together instead of separated?
Oh, that's an interesting point. I suppose it would have been the same in terms of Vader would have hunted him.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think if they were put together, then there's the chance that the connection there would be quite strong, so that they could be sensed, maybe, and then like possibly hunted down, maybe, I don't know, but
yeah, I think ultimately it would have just been the same.
Yeah, I don't think it would. There's a chance it wouldn't have made too much of a difference, but I know sort of. I don't think Leia's going to be killed in Episode 9 at all.
Zorkin, and with one savage strike, brought Alderaan to her knees, yeah, from the cinematic trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Alderaan one is so good. Satele versus Malgus, brilliant.
Yeah.
And then you have Jace Malcolm at the start, just being a total badass.
Just like trouncing them. All right.
I'm honestly Jace Malcolm. I really like Rex, but Malcolm just he's so badass, man.
Yeah.
With his massive cannon as well, just obliterating
He's on
enemies.
stream. You're not a Twitch start. I'm eating marshmallows. Okay.
Harry says, Mark need any mods? Oh, right, mods, yeah.
Wink. No. I'm okay, thanks, Sarah. Thanks for the offer, though.
Yeah, I'm new, so I'm getting mod.
Yeah, pretty much.
And also, I sub to you, so can you sub to me back, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. No, I'll do that.
Lethal Lightning. Thanks, mate. Jace would wreck Rex. Yeah, he would, definitely. He would obliterate him. That's the thing, though, as well, because with the Republic troopers in the Old Republic era, they were so much better because they were like literally trained to deal with like all this Sith and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously in the Clone Wars, it was more against like droids and everything. So like that's why they were so much like superior to the clones.
Yeah.
Zarkin says that trailer suffers from the classic. Oh, this guy isn't wearing his helmet. He must be a major character syndrome. Hey, we got Coach Millhouse brooch. I'll be a real brooch someday. You are the real brooch. What are you on about? Sam says Star Wars 1313 is being completed by Star Wars Comics. Yeah, I saw that. I'm not really keen for it. Probably get shut down. Let's face it. Have you seen that? Have you seen that?
I've seen that he's doing it. Yeah, I have seen that.
What do you think about it?
It's going to be, well, it's interesting that he's taking on this project, but I think I feel like he's set an incredibly short time frame because he set himself like he wanted to release it like halfway through this year or something like that.
Yeah.
And like I'm pretty sure he hadn't really even started on it either. Like it's just ridiculous trying to get it out that quickly.
Oh man.
But
that's
yeah,
the thing,
who knows?
it's technically not even Star Wars though, because he said that the whole Lucasfilm thing, and they'll shut it down if he puts Star Wars 1313 on it. So he has to call it something else, and it's not even going to be the same game. It's just basically his game, but with a Star Wars 1313 sort of, inspiration feel.
Yeah.
So I'm not really keen on it. I mean, he did say it's going to be originally for PC, but he's going to be trying to get it out to Xbox and PlayStation 4. So it's going to be free. So if you just get it to Xbox, then I might download it, but I don't know.
Yeah, that'll be right. Do you want to get onto this at some point? Because I'll need to get ready for work soon. So are we gonna do the scene?
Yeah, whatever. I'm not off by heart, but let me get a script up just because I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, I've got a script up as well. Now that it's here, I'm like, just oh god.
Right.
But who do you want to beat? Anakin or Obi-Wan?
See, I was thinking do it twice. It's like you be Obi-Wan, I'll be Anakin, and then switch it around.
Ooh, okay. We can do that.
Wait, there we go. Mustafa script. Is this it?
I can send you a link to. I'll send you a link to one I've got.
Yeah, go on then. There we go.
It's not the whole script, luckily. You just go down like just beyond halfway, and then it says Vader Obi-Wan. It says you're with him, blah blah. So.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Right. So who do you want to be first?
I don't mind. Like, who do you want to be? Like, genuinely, I don't mind.
I mean, if you're going to do it twice, then we might as well just pick randomly.
Yeah.
Wait. Just to be clear, so we're going to start with from Vader, you're with him, and then are we going to end at where Obi-Wan says, "You were my brother."
Right, Anakin. Yeah, we'll do
Yeah,
that.
just get it clear. I'll be Vader first if you want.
Okay. Oh God.
Senpai, you ready? Wait, you're getting asked another question.
What was the best last stand? Commander Thrawn or Captain Keeley? Captain Keeley on Ryloth was pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't remember the Commander Thrawn one too much, to be fair. I haven't seen it in a while, but Captain Keeley was good.
Yeah, the Commander Form one was when it was with Padme, and they were sort of like protecting her, and then Dooku came with droids, and they basically ambushed him.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. But like Captain Keeley one was awesome.
Yeah, I think Captain Keeley was probably bad.
Yeah. Senpai's ready. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Wait. Sorry. Do you want to do Padme as well? Anakin?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Because it's only one line, to be fair, so it doesn't matter. So if you do like,
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
cool.
Wait, I need to prepare myself. It's what it's like being a voice actor, as good as me. Lethal says, who asked that question? I can't see that. It's Order. He asked it. Right, okay. You with him? You brought him here to kill me.
Let her go, Anakin.
Anakin.
Let her go.
You turned her against me.
You have done that yourself.
You will not take her from me.
Your anger and lust for power have done that already. You have allowed this Dark Lord to twist your mind until now. Now you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
Don't lecture me, Obi-Wan. I see through the lies of the Jedi. I do not fear the dark side as you do. I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security in my new empire.
Your new empire?
Don't make me kill you.
Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy!
If you are not with me, then you're my enemy.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must.
You will try.
Fight. Do.
Obi-Wan Kenobi has cut off Vader's legs and part of his remaining good arm on one of Mustafa's higher grounds. Vader is struggling near the lava river.
You are the chosen one! It was said you'd destroy the Sith, not join them. Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness.
I hate you!
You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you. It's so beautiful. Okay,
let's do that again. Wait,
to be fair, I probably could do better as Obi-Wan, it's all I agree. But hey.
Branston one is better, Mark can do better. Thank you.
I could do better, I agree, but hey.
Right, let's go on again with the other one. But am I still being Padme? As she says one sign? Yeah, go on then.
No, I don't. Okay. You're with him. You brought him here to kill me.
Let's go, Anakin. Let's. Oh my god. Let her go.
You turned her against me.
You have done that yourself.
You will not take her from me.
Your anger and your lust for power have already done that. You have allowed this Dark Lord to twist your mind until now. Oh, now you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
Don't lecture me, Obi-Wan. I see through the lies of the Jedi. I do not fear the dark side as you do. I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.
Your new empire?
Don't make me kill you.
Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy.
If you're not with me, then you're my enemy.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must.
You will try.
You are the chosen one. It was said you destroy the Sith, not join them. Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness.
I hate you.
You and my brother, Anakin. I loved you.
Oh, cool.
Right, now we need someone to meme that.
All right. There we go. I'm just glad I don't have the face cam on because that would be a absolute mare.
Zorkin says, imagine something along the lines of Umbarat for the campaign for the next Battlefront game. I don't think there's going to be another Battlefront game from EA anyway.
Oh, God. Listening to these two, I'm starting to think maybe the prequels aren't actually that bad.
Hey,
Whew.
we'll do more. We'll do more.
Oh, man.
Senpai, over there. He's still alive. Quick, get the medical capsule.
Oh, God.
Oh, Zorkin's memeing us.
Lord Vader, can you hear me?
Okay, none of you can do Obi-Wan impression. I think mine was pretty good.
I normally can do an okay Obi-Wan, but I just couldn't then for some reason.
There's going to be another Battlefront, give it a decade, mate. Yeah, there's going to be another one, but not from EA. If Lucasfilm is looking for a good Padawan acting, then should
stop. I feel like they could just stop the Battlefront franchise after this one, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't see the point anymore, to be honest.
Yeah.
Senpai, I hope you're happy.
Yeah.
If you want us to do more, then just say. I'm happy to do more. In the next podcast, of course.
Yeah, because I think that's a pretty good way to round it up, really. I think we've got stuff to do.
Yeah, I can't wait for all the memes. I really can't.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
But yeah, I think that's it for now.
Yeah, it's been a good podcast. You know, rounding off with a bit of a awful movie reenactment from on our parts, but you know, it was fun. It was fun. But yeah, you know, a few pieces of pretty awesome official news, and you know, Rose Tico. I'm just going to leave that there for a while. Just let that sink in, you know, possible. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. Really appreciate you listening. As always, we'll do another one in no time, I'm sure.
Without doubt.
But yeah, I think that's all good for today. It's been good. But yeah, I don't really think I've got much else to say. Anything from you, Branston?
Yeah, thank you very much to everyone that came out. I hope that you did all enjoy it. We will be back in another round, roughly 2 weeks normally. I'm thinking that we probably will get a guest on for the next one, so stay tuned for that as well. Again, thank you very much for everyone that came out. Thank you to Mark for co-hosting. It's been great. Have a great time as always on the podcast. Hope you all enjoyed it, and take care.
Yeah, may the force be with you all.